Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Hello there. A very good morning to you, viewer, and of course, welcome to Morning Dew on Dott Television. My name is Henry Uzo, and as usual, we'll walk you through the news as it rolls out, and of course, we'll look at issues in the newspapers, maybe have one or two guests. I guess that will make your day today. Our Success Benjamin is with me in the studio.
Good morning, viewers from across the globe. This is Morning Dew on a fruitful Friday, where we bring you topical stories and news headlines happening around the globe. I am Success Benjamin.
It's good to be here today. What a beautiful day. Thank God it's Friday. We're so excited to have you with us. We believe that the weekend is going to be fruitful, starting with Morning Dew.
Okay.
Yes, because this is where the weekend starts.
Yes, I believe so. And of course, you guys are looking very smashy this morning.
Thank you so much.
Good to go.
For being here. My name is Ife Aaron, and for being here today, we are blessed.
Yeah, we thank God for every passing day. The psalmist says, "This is the day the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be
I'll be
glad."
glad in it.
So we foreclose everything that will bring sadness. As we make people happy, we hope that happiness will come our way.
Yeah.
Happiness is already our way, because seeing a beautiful day as this, it's a beautiful one, and it's a signs of joy and signs of God's faithfulness upon our lives.
I see new days as new opportunities to do better.
Okay.
Yes, and this week has been intense for some people, especially in the office. This week, a lot has happened.
For some people, okay.
Yeah, 2 days ago, we had a party.
Yes.
And
One of us was celebrating.
Yes, that was Zeno's birthday. I think that day has been the best day I've had lately.
Why?
Yes, for some reasons, especially since I saw your smiles.
Oh, yeah, now.
Yes. Your smiles are different. You know, you
Smiles.
left.
Okay.
I was surprised to see you back in the office, and you were so joyous.
Wonderful.
Seeing you that way made my day.
Oh, thank you so
on that
much.
day of the
Yes,
birthday
thank you.
celebration.
You were in your element.
I will keep smiling. All right,
Please
viewer,
do.
sit by. We're coming back to be with you on other issues. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, Morning Dew is kicking off with the news update, and of course, Success has the stories.
Welcome to News Update on Morning Dew. Yes, the West African Examination Council, WAEC, says 32% of candidates who sat for the 2026 First Series computer-based WASI for private candidates obtained credits in 5 subjects, including English language and math matters. WAEC noted that the examination is one of 2 annual diets for private candidates as the council continues its transition to computer-based testing, CBT. The examination body also reaffirmed its commitment to tackling examination malpractice through stricter monitoring and enforcement measures. Candidates can check their results and access their digital certificates through WAEC's official online platforms. Now, Minister of Works David Umahi has spoken on the death of Mary Abila, a nurse and a physiotherapist who was found dead at East Guest House in Uburu, Ebonyi State. Umahi disclosed that Abila was speaking with her boyfriend on the phone shortly before her death, complaining of persistent nose bleeding. According to him, she pleaded with him not to end the call, but the conversation was disconnected. The boyfriend reportedly called back about 3 minutes later but received no response. The minister said Abila was a staff member of the David Umahi Federal University Teaching Hospital and had been receiving treatment for an existing medical condition. He added that he had been sponsoring her treatment at a hospital in Turkey. Umahi has urged the police to examine the call records between Abila and her boyfriend while ordering a thorough autopsy to determine the exact cause of her death. Police investigations are ongoing. Now on entertainment, Nollywood actress Uche Ogbodo has announced the end of her marriage. In a statement shared on her Instagram page on Wednesday, the actress said she would not reveal the reason for the separation unless it becomes necessary. Obodo appealed to the public to respect a family's privacy, noting that while many people have opinions about her marriage, only those who lived through it know the full story. She added that her focus is now on caring for her children, healing, and moving forward with her dignity and peace of mind. The actress also urged the public to show understanding, kindness, and respect for everyone involved during this difficult period. And now on sports, the FIFA World Cup trophy will arrive at the New York, New Jersey Stadium in a custom-made Louis Vuitton trunk, continuing the luxury fashion house long-standing partnership with FIFA. The special designed case features Louis Vuitton's signature monogram, a gold V representing both victory and Vuitton, and a leather-lined interior with a commemorative FIFA partnership patch. This is the fifth consecutive FIFA World Cup for which Louis Vuitton has created the official trophy trunk, following the 2010, 2014, 2018, and 2022 tournaments. Louis Vuitton chairman and CEO Pietro Boccari said the partnership reflects a shared commitment to excellence and the power of sport to unite people around the world. Now on the foreign scenes, meanwhile, Iran has reportedly asked Yemen's Houthi movement to be prepared to disrupt shipping in the Red Sea if the United States attack Iran's power infrastructure, according to sources familiar with the matter. The sources said Tehran has informed the authors to remain on standby while the group has reportedly positioned missiles and drones near the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a key gateway linking the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden. A source close to the authors said the group is fully prepared and is awaiting orders before launching any operation. With the Strait of Hormuz already closed, any disruption in the Red Sea could affect the Middle East's two major oil export routes at the same time, raising fresh concerns over global energy supplies and escalating tensions between Iran and the United States. And that's the end of news update on Morning Dew. Plenty more to come when we return. Stay with us.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. And now we'll go straight to what we have in the papers. We start straight away with a pointer. Appeal Court validates INEC's 2027 election guidelines, dismisses High Court judgments. Then, of course, mass transit scheme. Delta to receive 50 CNG buses soon, says Agofure. Then, of course, US reps vote to withhold 100% aid to Nigeria. All that from the pointer.
And moving on to Daily Trust this morning, we have here talking about the death of Abila. Calls for investigation month, Umahi's home. And that's it for Daily Trust.
Let's now move over to the next newspaper for review today, the Daily Times, and we have this topical story. U.S. Congress approves suspension of financial aid to Nigeria over Christian persecution. I think that this headline will cut across today, the way it's going already. Above the masthead, we have this one on the physiotherapist. Placed to conduct autopsy on physiotherapist who died in Minister Umahi's residence. Can Nigeria sustain forex recovery with record external reserves? Well, that's also in the news, and it appears to be an opinion piece. Still on the Daily Times, 133 million in poverty. Tinubu launches 4.8 trillion naira hope package for kids and PHC's IDPs. These are the topical stories on the Daily Times.
Now, bringing us to the Guardian. The Guardian, we have here on the front page, say, how angry Nigerians loses 38 million tons to poor post-harvest plan. And here we have FG unveils 3 billion social protection human capital debt initiatives. U.S. welcomes talk on country of concern designation as Katia ends visits. Now, court orders forfeiture of 4.6 billion naira jewelry and 4.3 billion naira car orders. Nows insist on autopsy, demand probe of Abila's death. Nigeria roadmap. Obi prioritize education, healthcare in policy blueprints. Now we have Gbajabiamala's slams 15 billion suit on Adeyemi's as group demands probe of PFIPC scandal. Then down the part down, we have mixed reactions trail appeal court's ruling restoring INEC timetable. And that's all for the Guardian.
Next is the Nation. On the Nation, we have 6 months to presidential poll. INEC resists preparation tempo. Then a court orders Achimogu to forfeit 4.6 billion naira assets. Akimboro, Akangbe, Okunsonya in race to lead NBA, talking about the NBA election. Tinubu launches $3.05 billion poverty reduction plan. All that in the Nation.
Now bringing us to the Punch, we have states the fight Supreme Court control 10 trillion naira local government allocations. And the downriders here, we have 2 years after Supreme Court judgment, states still control LG funds, nudge Algon leaders. LG autonomy still as joint account system survives in most states. Then we have here, Kogi rescues adopted principal, NECO officials, 2 students. Umahi police fights bid to stop autopsy. And that's it on the Punch this morning.
Next is the Daily Sun, and just beside the masthead, we have this on the 2027 election. Obi prioritizes education, healthcare in second phase of new Nigeria roadmap. And below that, Tinubu unveils $3.05 billion anti-poverty human capital programs. The major story on Daily Sun today reads, terrorism, U.S. reps move against Nigeria. Pass bill to withhold assistance until terror attacks are addressed. There's another rider. UK reaffirms support for Nigeria's security sector reforms. We see a photo there that shows that the Business Day CEO Forum was held in Lagos yesterday. Still on Daily Sun, 210 trillion naira missing funds. Missing funds claim false, and that's from NAPIM ex GM to the Senate. And of course, dead people's names remain on INEX records. That's credited to Amilpiton. Topical stories on Daily Sun.
Now, bringing us to the Vanguard, we have Baja Biamela slams 15 billion naira suits against Adeyemi. It's a topical headline here in the Guardian, the Vanguard, sorry. And here we have court grants final forfeiture of 4.6 billion jewelries and 4.3 billion exotic cars, $50,000 and 30 million to FG. Now we also have still on the Vanguard, importers to increase the port petrol price to 1,350 naira per litres, and why Tinubu must overhaul football administration, expert stakeholders. And here we have kidnapped Kogi students rescued, and the top rider here we have U.S. Congress cuts aid to Nigeria by 50% over Christian persecution. And that's it for the Vanguard.
Next is the Nigerian Tribune. Of course, we have a appeal court validates INEC timetable on 2027 elections, strikes down portions of Electoral Act as unconstitutional. Then, of course, we have two appeal courts. Sorry, that's another paper. All right, that's what we can take for now.
Now, bringing us to this day, and the topical story there says U.S. House back bills to suspend all assistance to Nigeria over terrorism. Then the top rider say two appeal courts issued conflicting judgments on INEC's power guidelines. And that's it on this day.
And next is Empire newspaper. And both the masthead, State Police Bill, NGF, State Assembly speakers join forces to fast-track passage. The major story on Empire newspaper today, 2027 Appeal Court reinstates INEC election timetable, overturns High Court judgment, and there's a rider. INEC chairman seeks enhanced funding, staff welfare. Why ABGA will not field presidential candidate. That's coming from Publicity Scribe. And on Mary Habila, that sad story. Friend reveals final moments as Omahi seeks forensic investigation. There's a rider, 20-year-old nursing student allegedly raped by, oh, that's a different story, but linked to this one because they appear somewhat
similar.
20-year-old nursing student allegedly raped by Odogwu of Asaba commits suicide. Now, this one just came home, and incidentally, it's the last newspaper that we have to review, and we are landing on that sad note.
That's a very sad one.
It's a very sad one.
It's all right. When we come back, we'll look at the issues that stand out in the headlines. Stay with us.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel your pain.
Only humility will lead us to unity, and unity will lead us to peace.
Go to the market and sell your products.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, we are looking at issues that stand out in the headlines that we read to you. We are already having the studio Godfrey Obaka. How are you this morning?
Well, Henry and
My ladies.
your ladies, safely put. Thank God it's Friday.
Again.
But I want to tell you that beyond being Friday, it's a very significant day.
Okay.
Because we are just a couple of hours away from Nelson Mandela Day,
Okay.
July 18th.
Okay.
The only man living or dead that the United Nations declared a day to celebrate
him.
birthday. So we are warming up to Mandela's birthday.
Okay.
So I don't mind. Maybe I'm extending invitation to you, to the crew, so that we'll go and do community
where are we
service.
going?
There is a Nelson Mandela Garden here in Asaba.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah, there's a Nelson Mandela Garden. just
I
by
know
the
the
airport.
garden. Is that where we are converging?
Yeah.
Okay.
To do a compulsory 67 minutes community service.
67 minutes.
67 minutes.
Why
Quick,
67?
67. The 67 years he spent in sacrifice of humanity.
Okay.
You know, the only sore point a bit is that this year the world will be marking it at a time when the people he left behind
Yes.
and the government he left behind
I'm messing up the
are
legacy.
messing up the legacy of
Yeah.
one Africa, one humanity, sacrifice and upliftment of even forgiving your enemies like he did to the apartheid. So, and it's about 13 years now that he died. And we are still searching for the next Mandela Maybe Henry will help us on the story field.
To find. Because
we are looking for the
at this
next
age,
Mandela.
I cannot be a Mandela. I can't even spend 6
The
months.
world needs a couple more
I
Mandelas.
can't spend 6 months in prison.
No, you don't need. You don't need to go to
the
prison.
No, you don't need to go to
what
prison.
do we do for
It's about
Mandela?
sacrifice to humanity.
Okay.
It's about leadership by example.
Okay.
It's about not staying put in governance.
All of
he
them,
served
all of them are not
only 4
qualified.
years and he left.
All what you are listing
It's
are
not-
not qualified.
But you can forgive even your enemies.
Of course, definitely. Definitely.
So you're
that
qualified.
can be
So
done.
this is the
At that
13th
point.
posthumous birthday.
Yes, but it's United Nations declared Nelson Mandela Day, which
Okay.
falls into tomorrow, Saturday.
Yes.
So we are warming up to it.
All right, let's start with what we have in the papers. We have here, state and local government financial autonomy. Is that achievable, or have we achieved it already?
Well, I wish we had started on another note because it just reminds me we have a young lady here in the Dott family, in the person of I think Nkechika Chukwudi Obaja, and she has a way of talking about struggles, talking about the struggles of human existential realities. So this also brings us to another realm of struggles. One, the Constitution in Section 7 of 1999 Constitution guarantees the existence of democratically elected local government.
Okay.
So local government is not a creation of a federal government. Local government is a creation
entrenched in the Constitution.
of the Constitution.
Okay.
Now we have subsisting a Supreme Court judgment that says they should have autonomy. So that is to say, when you are talking of federal allocation, they are charged to come to them, first charge direct to them.
Okay.
You understand?
But
But
what is not coming to them?
What Punch has done to
Tinubu.
commence? What Punch has done to commence a weekend is a food for thought for all of us in Nigeria, because it has brought out, since that court judgment, how much is supposed to have reached the local government and how much in actuality reached them. So that is to say that local government, the third tier of government that is closest to the people, that is a product of the Constitution, backed up by a Supreme Court judgment, but in the operational reality of Nigeria's democracy remains an appendage of the local government, and that the financial autonomy is a ruse, it's not practicable. Then the question now before us, in order to set agenda for our nation to be better, is why is that so? That is so because we have not been able to get it right in terms of leadership emergence at that level.
Okay.
We are expecting democracy at Abuja. That is not possible. Democracy from the Humphrey Wosu experiment of June 12. Democracy should start from the ward level, from the unit level, then local government before the state. That was how the one we celebrate every June 12, talking about Abiola, that was how his emergence was.
Okay.
And some persons failed at that point.
No, you are talking about emergence. We're talking about financial autonomy. And I know that when Tinubu came in, not quite long,
I am going somewhere. I'm telling you why it is not realistic now.
Your foundation is too strong.
No. It's not realistic. Financial autonomy is not realistic because Edo just finished their local government election. And APC won.
Everybody won.
But go and ask those chairmen whether any of them can trace their ascendancy to the votes of the people.
Okay.
The state electoral commissions are not independent. The governor pencils down your name. You are as good as becoming a local government chairman.
You are selected.
So you don't owe your authority to the people.
Okay.
But you owe your ascendancy to those who put you there, your principal.
Okay.
And that is the bane. How now can I, as Godfrey Baker, that the governor pencils down as the local government chairman of my local government, how now can I look at him eyeball to eyeball and ask that this is what is supposed to have come to my people, to my local government, but this is what is coming?
Yes.
That is the disconnect. Until we are able to have it right and conduct credible local government election, we cannot have financial autonomy for local government, because you can't pencil somebody down and the next day, the person is asking you issues of, it's just like biting the finger that feeds you.
Okay.
Some other person will have pushed me to.
I see how you struggle. How you struggle to point out what you.
I needed to struggle. That is the biting the finger that feeds you before somebody will put it into another word that is not for broadcast on the national media.
No, you are speaking English.
Yes, I'm speaking English.
I'm speaking English. The other one is music.
Let's straighten things out.
Thank you, ma'am.
Because at the local level, I would have thought that it would be easier for the people to insist that their votes count.
Okay.
Imagine your community. If an election is taking place, you already know how to manage things.
Is there election at all? That's the question you ask yourself.
In the local government levels, he's talking about the fact that elections are not free and fair. Sometimes
or in some cases they do not vote at all.
I also know that there are transition. Sometimes because of certain issues at the local level, governors may even insist at some point transition committees became the order of the day in some states of the country.
Even though that is
unconstitutional. They should be democratically elected local government chairmen. But what we have in place, there was a time they mooted that INEC should come over and conduct such elections.
Instead of the state
electoral commissions hardly go out there to conduct elections.
But it's the same thing.
And that is why each party continue winning. The state, the party that is in authority at the state
just selects people.
Just selects people. And it's 100%. They all are 100%, 100%.
How do we return power to the people?
The people should demand that power returns to them.
At this point
because we are having a democracy. The press has done its job. You can now see why the local government, which of the local government, in spite of all that is expected to have got into the local government, which local government is able to tar even a road? Which local government is able to take care of the feeder roads? There are constitutional responsibilities, taking care of the market, even agri extension, and all that. Which of them are able to do it? They just manage to even pay salary. Primary schools are supposed to be under their
accountable.
Exactly.
So why do they say so if they are already impinging on their resources?
Oh yes, you say one thing in the public platform and you do another one. Can we invite any of the local government chairmen to come
speak
here
on the matter
and speak?
Sure.
Can we invite any of the local government to come here and speak? They will dodge it.
They will
dodge it. But I
because they will want to.
We can try. We can try because at this point, let's use Delta State as for example now, where the local government chairmen are actually by selection. All right. So now I believe the government did something that it knows these persons, like these people being selected for these positions, will do well. And if you go through the local governments in Delta State, you will see that these local government chairmen are actually doing well. Like,
is that so?
Yes,
they are. Because let's not gloss over the fundamental error. That the people are denied the opportunity to choose their leaders.
Yes, that is the right way to go. That is the right thing to do.
Even when the case, they are doing well.
No, it's not like I'm making that is the right way to go. That they are supposed to be elected.
Yes.
But in some cases,
if you
this selection
nominate,
also works. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes. The best of the candidates is still not democracy.
It's still not democracy.
Because fundamentally, you are wrong the people.
That's true.
Of their right
power
to be the ones to choose.
Power is not
the
residing
error we are saying that going forward, we need to correct, especially at that level. Because if we don't have it right at that level, there is no way we will expect to have it right at Abuja.
Exactly.
All right, so much. But we are talking about, we have spent time now on local government. What about the state government? Are they autonomous financially? It's good to find out.
If they are
Are they financially autonomous?
Yes, they go federal allocation now. They go there.
Also, at their level,
somebody
they are
once
autonomous.
described it as feeding bottle federalism,
Yeah.
where you go cap in hand to collect,
to collect,
the government.
not to beg.
A number of them are no longer creative enough to look inwards in order to see how they can beef up their internally generated revenue. That again becomes a bane of our federalism.
No, Dott recently published a huge amount of money that they generated internally.
Yes, but we look towards seeing how it reflects in the infrastructure.
But there's something I want to ask. Most of the time, you hear people say that money is given to the local governments direct from the federal allocation. So who is holding their money? Is this state that is breathing down on them? Is it the governors?
Well, I don't know what you're expecting to hear from me. I have told you that arising from the Punch publication for today, which anybody should go and find out, that in spite of the constitutional provision and Supreme Court declaration as a judgment, that financial autonomy is still not being practiced for local government. It's still far-fetched. And that a number of what should go to local government is going to the state, and that is not good enough. And that even the one that trickles down to the local government, they cannot account for what they are doing with it.
Is it going to state coffers or is it going to state governors? Because there are two different things. If, for instance, I go to Abuja and my money is sent to me, given to me direct, and you say state, is it that it's added to the state resources?
I think in one of the republics, we had a Bakinzuwo who was a governor.
Yes.
And they found some money in his house. And he did tell them that it was state money found in a state governor's house, that there was nothing wrong with it. You know? So I don't know what else you are talking about.
I'm not sure they know Bakinzuwo.
I know they are younger people. They are younger people. He talked about mineral resources that they had in the state. Fanta, Coke, and all that. You know, so it was a delight. It was an interviewer's delight.
All right, let's go to something else. INEC is planning mock presidential polls. Why should it be mock? Why not actual?
No. Mock in the sense that I have a feeling that you went to secondary school at some point where before WAEC,
there's mock exam.
Then the school owed it a duty to do mock, to prepare people, a simulation of the reality, so that you don't face the reality and have some shock. You know, so there are two angles to that particular story, where Amupitam, that's Professor Josh Amupitam, the ANEC chairman, talked about the mock presidential election that is to be done, that arising from the experience in 2023. They will not want glitches and hitches. So they want to test all their equipment, as it were, all their gadgets, to see to it that all function and function maximally. Presumably that they will not want to fail Nigerian people. The audience he was talking to at that point in time was very, very significant, in the sense that I think the British High Commissioner in Nigeria, the person of Richard Montgomery, he was the one who said that Britain is keenly following with INEC preparation. Why is that so? An electoral umpire needs to be independent. An electoral umpire doesn't need to be a parastatal operating as an extension of the ruling party. It shouldn't be an interested party. The oppositions are saying for now that it does appear that both EFCC and INEC and police are being used to mute the voices of opposition. That is not democracy. So, significantly, both Britain and America say they are interested in how Nigeria's democracy is deepened. And a mock one is okay. But at the end of the day,
how will it run? How you can play going to go to the polls?
This is actually not the first
it
time.
won't be everywhere. It will be like pilot thing. They will just take some samples of places and people will come out and they would, is to test their equipment.
Okay.
Yes.
Is to test their
In
preparedness.
2023,
It's a build-up, 6
Yeah.
months to the real thing.
In 2023, we had a mock election ahead of the presidential election, and the aim was for them to test the BVAS
Yeah.
at that time, and then to also correct any technical glitches that may happen, and to also train their workers. And during the just recently, that was earlier this year, the FCT area council election, a mock election was also held in selected centers in the FCT. My concern will be with the logistics for the mock election. Hopefully, it will not be an added expenditure.
And that's why they will always ask for.
Away
They
from
they
the
already
already
requested for more
approved
funds.
budget
There
for
is
the
no
election.
way it will not be an added expenditure.
Of
But
course.
what Nigerians are concerned over is that at the end of the
After
day,
all this,
Are
we
we
still
still
have
going
not
to get
been
credible?
Let us not have
in
glitches again.
futility.
Yes. Are we
Let
still
it
going to
not
get
be
a
effort in
credible
futility.
result?
We can't spend all these
money,
billions, building up to trillions,
And
and
then
at
we
the
don't
end
get-
of the day,
we don't get the required result.
what we get is not a reflection, a true reflection
Of the
of
money spent.
what the people have decided, or what the people have demonstrated through their votes.
All right, we'll continue with the conversation on the headlines from the papers when we come back. Stay with us.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. Away from autonomy of financial autonomy of the local government, we go to an issue of alleviation of poverty by Mr. President or the federal government. Even in the pointer, we saw that about 50 CNG buses are coming to Delta State. That's what Agofore said. Now, these are things that should have come immediately after the removal of subsidy. Coming 3 years,
3 years after.
How do you assess it?
My question is it going to be free? Now that it's coming,
Is it going
at
to be
this time?
completely free?
The poverty alleviation.
Well, this is not the first time we are hearing of poverty alleviation.
Okay.
Poverty PAP, poverty alleviation program. We've always had it.
And like you
But-
said, it's PAP.
Yeah, it's PAP, poverty alleviation program.
And PAP is
After this
poverty
program,
alleviation.
Mary, go and look at the acronyms created from there,
Yes.
and it will interest you how creative we are as a people.
Mm.
There's one that is hope. There's one that is cares. There's one that all the acronyms of the poverty alleviation sub themes.
Yes.
So creative, so wonderful. And looking at them, you just know that the government and
Came
those
prepared.
behind came prepared. But beyond that, we've had programs that mean well at the surface, but at the end of the day, the implementation gets flawed. Little wonder, Professor Chinua Achebe of blessed memory did say that the food production, the green revolution of Shagari's regime gave him more food for thought than food on the table. So we have programs that are, poverty alleviation program. And at the end of the day, instead of poverty being alleviated, you see escape route of some people, the implementers, for them out of poverty. But poverty looms larger in the areas where there is a segment of it that is supposed to be for people in internally displaced places, IDPs. You understand? So we've never lost sort of creativity when it comes to concepts. Planning and concept, beautiful concepts. But a policy is as good as its implementation. And it's at the level of implementation that you see that the corrupt tendencies have their own way of now watering down what has been planned. Otherwise, we have always had good plans. The presidency has come, and don't forget that, democratically speaking, he has a date with the Nigerian people. It's about 6 months now. He has a date with the Nigerian people. And so some of these programs need to come out now, so that the hope at the end of the day can be renewed.
Ordinarily, Godfrey, when government says it's planning alleviation program for poverty in Nigeria, what are the things that you expect government to do, you as a person?
Well, I expect government to get back to have the economy to work so that jobs can be created. Let Nigerians be engaged. I expect government to be more frontal with the issue of insecurity. So that the average farmer can access his farm. I expect government to continue from, in Lagos those days, you used to have Gowan Estate. You used to have Jakonde Estate.
They are still there.
But when they are still there, when last did we have a government that comes up with housing estate? By the time you take care of the housing need of a family, you have taken care of more than half of their poverty issues.
That's true.
Because even in that their location, they can do a farming courtyard, vegetable and some of those things around. But by the time you come up with let us go through the state government, let them submit names and those who can access this. And at the end of the day, between the conception of the program and this implementation, you see that we have succeeded in fueling and funding corruption instead of actually alleviating poverty. That has always been the dilemma.
Now, I'm looking at such areas as transportation. Because like we know, in other climes, once they remove subsidy, one of the things they target is to ensure that there is subsidized transportation.
Even before you remove,
buses,
even before you remove, you make sure that it is in place. Because when subsidy was removed, what we found was that transportation shot up.
Of course.
And somebody will ask, how would it now affect the price of food in the market?
Excuse me.
The market woman needs to source her produce from markets away, including the community, to transport them. And at the end of the day, you find out that the entire cost is passed back to the final consumer.
That's the reality.
And so you see that the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics will be telling you that inflation has reduced at this level. But the reality in the market will be that the cost of living is going
still very
high. Doesn't it bother you that we are born in a Nigerian setting, a Nigerian situation, where a woman that had about 6 children thereabout had to take one of them to a seller of Gary and say, hold on to this child, give me Gary, let me go home and bring bring money for you to pay. And took the Gary to go and feed the others.
Yes, and left the child.
And left that child.
Sounds like comic.
No. But that's the reality. Because she couldn't stand watching the 6 of them die. And so felt that she could exchange one for a mudu of Gary. I do not know how long that mudu will last that family. That is the scorching reality of poverty. In a nation that is so well blessed. And in a nation that you have a percentage of people that control the wealth and in fact stacking them outside the country. Outside the country.
No, they are enabled. What I see most of the time is that, when a country is very rich, the people are very poor because interest from other areas.
No, that paradox needs to be, we need to demystify that and deal with, and we need to deal with it if we can make progress.
It's a conversation that is very deep. That before you become a leader in any country that is blessed, there are interests from outside the country that will position you to be a channel, to be,
a conduit.
Conduit to be carrying away your resources to other places instead of the people benefiting from it.
Talking about how external influences can affect us. Remember that Nigeria is party to the United Nations, and we're all trying to meet the 2030 agenda, which is the SDGs.
Yes.
Climate change is part of it.
Okay.
Do you know how all these car emissions from all of us, you drove this morning? It's possible that the rest of us, some of us are coming to work with vehicles. You can imagine how that detracts from our ability to meet the SDGs, primarily the agenda to combat climate change and to
consequences.
The consequences of climate change. Imagine if we're able to activate public transportation systems that work in Nigeria. How that would help us manage all these zone divisions, nature this, and all of that.
Yeah.
So we don't actually see things, we don't look at things holistically as a nation. That the fact that we want to achieve this particular agenda, there are things we must do. If we have working public transportation systems, I am sure that many of us will stop driving.
Yes, now, because why do you have to bother to put fuel in your car at a very high price when you can buy a ticket that will take you to your destination?
It's still about deficit of planning.
Yeah.
And a government that lacks vision most of the time. The SDG goals, we keep changing the goalposts. And every state has SDG offices. They try to fund them. But at the end of the day, the issue of poverty is still there. The issue of health, how many people can access health facilities when they need it,
Healthcare.
Child mortality and all that. Even the availability of food. How many Nigerians go to bed with hungry stomach? And how does that translate to criminal tendencies? Because not everybody that goes to bed today with empty stomach will wake up the next day and watch themselves die.
No.
And before you know
they want
it,
to do
something ignites in them.
Yes.
And that is the criminal tendency there.
We wait to see what the government would do with their program. Now that they are under pressure, because I say so, the election is in due, they want to impress. So whatever they come up with, let's see how we benefit from it.
That's okay.
Now we shift to another area. Issue of Federal Road Safety Corps. This argument has always been, you are a federal agency. What are you doing on state roads? Why are you in town? You're supposed to be on your federal roads. Now the court has ruled that they should stay on federal roads.
Yes.
Interestingly,
Stay away from
a
state
high court in
roads.
Kano ruled, and I think Daily Trust treated it quite boldly about how they have been asked to stay on their route. We are conversant with the history of Federal Road Safety Corps and the role Woloshenka played as a pioneer chairman. And of course, the first set and how the fear of federal road safety was the beginning of wisdom for
Yes,
drivers. And
for
so they
road
could not
users.
overload, they could not be drunk and be driving and all that. But over time, you have seen them watered down and you have seen them become part of, as it were, the Nigerian system. And you have seen drivers in various parks contribute money and have one person to relate with them. And as such, they see you with your vehicles not being roadworthy and it's overloaded and you are overspeeding, you're possibly drunk, and at the end of the day, they just allow you pass because they recognize that you are coming from a park that has settled them. And so people are beginning to ask, what is the what remains of the legacies of the likes of Wolo Soyinka? Now the court has ruled that they should stay in their federal roads and leave the state roads. To what extent that will also help with issues of Nigeria is seen to be having the road network in Africa that constitute the majority of road mishaps. Whether it's state road and federal road, I think human beings are applying there. So we should go beyond that court judgment and see how we can man both the federal roads and also the state roads. Interestingly, there is another judgment that came up. I think something that reflects in the papers that going forward, they are banning hawking in vehicles, in order to see that I'm preaching in buses, in order to see that people are not distracted, drivers are not distracted, and that they do not have accident.
While listening to messages.
Yeah, while listening to messages. So they have come from an angle of don't hawk, don't canvass, don't trade in buses, but also don't preach. And we do know that of the major religions in Nigeria, there is a particular one that spreads the gospel, that preaches even in buses and all that. So they have now come from that legal to stop to limit your right to religion and your right of self-expression. I do hope that somehow, some persons may need to challenge that as it has to do with our fundamental human rights.
I am just wondering how these instances, like the preaching, how do we have data about how that has caused accidents?
Yes, some casualties, some road casualties.
When they plan, they are holistic because their thinking is that maybe when you are preaching, the driver who is supposed to concentrate will not be shouting
at some time.
Maybe
at some time get carried away.
Because this is, I'm hearing it
it's an interesting, it's an interesting, it's in the papers today. It's in the papers today. So it's an interesting development.
Across
an interesting development.
Nanambra, Soludo said you should stop preaching on the streets.
On the streets.
This open air preaching. Go to your church, preach there.
Because of noise pollution.
Yes.
And in some parts of Lagos, even the noise from churches are regulated.
It should be regulated.
What are Bobonishe? I don't know noise pollution. It's all right. Whatever they say, we want to look at the positive aspect. Like you said, a driver can be fanatical. When somebody is preaching, yes, man of God, and that
or maybe sometimes even contribute. Sometimes contribute to
anything we can do to make our environment
like
safer.
Every day we wake up to issues. We analyze matters happening. But I've never heard of this kind of, and they reported that an accident happened because a driver was listening.
You won't get it, but they are just being proactive, to contain such incidents from happening or such casualties.
It's an interesting development, and we need to watch and see how it actually
even as a man of God, I like it.
But truth be told, sometimes you hear some drivers while driving, they contribute to discussions. To conversations in the vehicle. So I think all this
they have the intention
to mitigate.
Now straight to this one. It's interesting. The US reps, they are voting. In fact, they have voted completely to withdraw all aids to Nigeria. What could be the cost of that? They are withdrawing many things from us.
The news report has stated the reason that they cannot be funding what they stand against. They stand against terrorism.
Mhm.
They stand against religious extremism.
Mhm.
They stand against the
Christian
slaughter
genocide.
of
Mm.
Christians,
Mm.
Christian genocide. They stand against those. So if they do, and is it not said in our local parlance that what you can't eat, don't share with your teeth?
Don't use your teeth.
So they can't. They say they can fund. They are withdrawing it now, and
But
yeah.
I've been issue. Were they funding? What were they funding?
No, they were sending aids.
Yes.
In terms of health,
yes.
in terms of education, and
So
all
how
that.
does that translate
No,
now to
what they
funding
are saying is that for now, deposit.
Okay, it's like sanction.
For you to show seriousness because the intelligence available to the international community is that we have not shown enough seriousness, no political will to address the issue of insurgency and terrorism. If you show political will, how long did it take Nigeria to announce those who are financing terrorism? Should that be?
And what have been
And
done?
if you know
what
has been done to them or with them, what? Those are the questions, those are the issues.
That tells us that some of the things that the US has been doing, including the visa restrictions that we talked about yesterday,
is intentional.
That these are gradually they're removing a whole lot.
Yes, now it's a whole lot because I'm thinking that
not just aid, perhaps diplomatic ties are strained right now. Do you think so?
Oh, no, not particularly strained. There's a build-up to an election that they are closely interested in, and they are watching. If we are able to handle those issues right, perhaps no nation in the world, no matter how developed, will want to toy with ties to Nigeria. Nigeria remains a market. Nigeria is the biggest black nation in the world. And as such, what all they are interested in is how we could put our homes in order.
No, but
the fact that we're not putting our home in
I
order.
agree. I will expect that such sanctions should target government officials. What about genuine people who have genuine intentions, maybe to travel to America, or we're talking about health, aid in health. It's not the government officials now. They know that when our leaders are sick, they come to them. We're talking about these aids come to the ordinary man. If you cough them, it's like throwing a baby with
a
bath
message is being sent,
to
like
who?
Dr. Ife said, it's a diplomatic message.
It's okay.
We are tightening the news.
Okay.
Get it right.
Okay.
Or more actions will come.
No, the news you are tightening is more on the people now.
Yeah, because when two elephants fight, the grass naturally suffers.
And it's okay.
There are no escape routes.
The character of the United States so far, what we've seen over time, is that they tend not to be selective.
Okay.
The target is the country. So they will not start telling the leaders, oh, it's you or that.
But they should.
Everything
because
they are
it's
doing,
obvious that the leaders are our problem.
everything they are doing,
Leadership is the problem.
It's the problem.
But the followership should hold leadership accountable.
Do you know as well?
That is how it should be. Don't be a passive follower.
When aid comes from the US, it makes the government look good.
That's true.
Yes,
true.
so when they withdraw it, even the government is seen to be not doing much.
All right.
So that is...
It's okay. We'll end on this rather sad note. The young lady, Habila, that died...
that's Mary.
Yes.
Mary Habila.
In the is it in his residence, Umahi's residence? But she's a staff attached to him.
A staff attached to both the hospital that is named after Umahi and also had a working relationship with the Federal Ministry of Works, where Umahi also happens to be the minister. It's a very sad one. The circumstances of the death are such that people are asking.
No, but did they not say he died in his residence?
No. The friend who said last moments with Mary Habila is a guest house of the ministry.
Okay.
But not Umahi's residence. But
Resident.
Umahi has come up to say she was like a daughter to me. She had a health issue. She was bleeding from the nose. And I overheard her saying that to her boyfriend and all that. Sad enough, the lady is dead. The father says, I want my daughter's body intact for burial. You understand? I do not want autopsy. But some groups, including NANS, they are saying autopsy needs to be done.
Should be done.
For them to know the cause of the death. You know, there are also people who have the view that these are not the best of times for Mahi, that she may have had hands in the death of the young woman.
Why is there connection with Umai with the lady's death? There appears to be a strong connection.
Mahi himself has told the world she was a daughter.
She was like a daughter.
A daughter to her.
To him.
To
and
him.
even prior before the death, prior before now, that he has also sponsored some trips of her to
Turkey.
Yes, to Turkey for medical treatment.
Exactly. You know.
No,
so there are speculations. There are speculations. There are speculations that beyond being a daughter,
there's an
they possibly had some other forms of relationship.
Exactly.
There's this apparent connection of
that is where the public is pointing out to.
Yeah.
But
allegedly.
The first time I heard the story, or I saw the story, it looked like somebody who was resident in Umai's house.
Yes, but Umai is telling the world that linking her death to him is taking politics a bit too far.
Yes.
He says it's his political opponents that are trying to paint him in that color. That he had a relationship with the girl, the lady, but that it was a father-daughter relationship. And that he knew the health challenge the lady was going through, and that, of course, impliedly, he could never have played a role in her death.
Think about her role. Physiotherapy, you know, sometimes it's invasive. If you have a physiotherapist, the person likely has access to your inner room. You know, so it's possible that people
So it was a personal physiotherapist to him.
We are not sure how close she was to
because
him.
there's this direct link.
There's a direct linking of relationship between
they walked rather closely.
Yes,
especially because of what she does.
Yes.
Yes, so it is better for investigations to be done. I do not know why the family is insisting on no autopsy.
Okay.
Because that will even clear Umahi's name. He's even saying forensics should be done.
Yes.
Also, the boyfriend that the girl spoke to just a few minutes before she died, you know, the call logs and all of that, Umahi is actually asking for a bit more transparency in this matter. So I believe that the investigators should accede to that. The family should also see reason.
At least to clear Umahi's image.
The person involved is a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So when things like this happen around him, it is better for clarity and transparency.
All right. We also had one that happened in Asaba here. A young girl came to one. Is it Odogu they call it?
Yeah, I think at that point, at this point, it's good for some level of clarification to be done.
Yeah.
Odogu is a very high-rated title
in Asaba. Yes.
After the very close to the Asaba himself, you have the Odogu, the warlord.
Yeah.
The warlord. And so the media is talking about Odogu of Asaba. As we speak, Asaba is yet to have an Odogu because the Odogu, the occupant of that stool, died.
Okay.
And as a mark of respect, the way he carried on.
Yes.
Yeah, and he died in active service. Okay. You know, so they are giving some time before installing another Odogu. The fellow content creator goes by his name Odogu. Content creators can go by whatever
any name they like.
The Odogu. That is why
he's called himself Odogu and he lives in Asaba.
Yes.
But when they say Odogu Asaba, it looks as if
in the print, they have a way of quoting
inverted
but in the broadcast setting like this, you say Odogu Asaba, who invited a girl to teach her how to do
monetize and promote her content,
and eventually had her raped. But while all those were going on, the lady, as part of the content training they were supposed to be doing, had recorded the entire scene.
Okay,
you know, so yes, she felt humiliated and felt traumatized and felt life couldn't go on. Something happened. Maybe she took a substance and she died. But at the end of the day, there was an evidence of a video to tell the story. You know, so it is that video now that is the evidence. That is why, as we speak, the so-called Odogu is in the police.
My question to you quickly, I know we're rounding off this part of things, is now that we know that he branded himself with this amazing community, is it not a wake-up call for communities who have people like this, who will not take up a brand? It's just like somebody saying something of Delta. What if the person's image gets smeared?
Yes.
People who are reading the story away from here will not understand what you just explained to us about the fact that he just took up the name.
Yeah.
So how
Meanwhile,
do
it's a
communities
very serious
ensure that
Yes.
ensure that young people do not rob the image of our communities and
some
our state
certain
in the
titles
world
in
by
the
branding
communities.
themselves in this wise? Anybody who goes by attaching Asaba to his name, he should go to the CAC to register it. By then, the community will get to know.
Odogu is a venerated title. Yeah. Just like the way we had Ikemba of Newi. Ikemba Newi, the person of Odumegu, Ojuku. And of course, we found that in a number of places, people picked up that Ikemba, the Ikemba of so community,
place,
the Ikemba of so community. So maybe the guy felt that Odogu is a warlord.
Yes.
But incidentally,
he's
content creation.
So I believe that now our communities will take it more seriously.
More seriously.
Yes, that's
by calling such people to
yes.
I'm on the same page.
So anybody who is branding themselves.
Thank you, Godfrey. Thank you, Ify. Thank you, Success.
If he's taking it serious.
That should do justice to paper review.
Yeah, don't forget the date for Mandela.
Tomorrow.
So it's for the time.
You are the one inviting
time,
us.
please.
It's for the men.
It's for all of us.
Because
The time. What's the time?
Will there be refreshments?
67 hours. Minutes. Sorry, minutes.
Community service 67 minutes.
But why not 67 hours?
Thank you.
No,
That should do it for
pretty
paper
long.
review. This morning, viewer, stand by.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
The Delta Broadcast Media Organization, in conjunction with the Delta State Ministry of Information, presents the Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0. Theme: the broadcast media as a democratic catalyst, shaping public trust and electoral credibility in 2027. Keynote speaker, Sheon Okimbaloye. Anchor, Politics Today on Channels Television. Guest speakers, Ayo Mairo Essay. Anchor, Arise News. Agatha Amata, CEO, Trend FM. Samuel Fejoku, veteran broadcaster and senior special assistant to the governor on protocol. Guest of honor, Honorable Charles Ehiedu Aneagu, Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information. And Right Honorable Imomotimi Dennis Guo. Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Oborewori, the Executive Governor of Delta State. Convener, media personality, Ruki Onoro. Date, August 14, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba. There'll be high-level networking, media interaction, capacity building, awards, and lots more. Register to attend on www.deltabroadcastmediaconference.org. For inquiries, call 0706-701-8400, 0803-874-9265. Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0, powered by Delta State Government. Sponsors, Dominion Pearl Homes and One Niger app. Supported by NTA, DBS, Quest FM and TV, Warri Sentinel, Trend FM, Mega FM, Baramatu Voice, Oko FM, Crown FM, Sleek FM, Eku FM, Big Heart Radio, Cruise FM, Atlantic TV, Rise FM, and Dott TV.
Amazon from Harrison. That is a massive world record. Martinelli goes, boys, out of his goal. Martinelli, this will be 3 for Arsenal.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, we're on to sports update. Anthony, which is already in the studio. Good to see you. We miss you this while.
Hello, Anthony.
Hello, good morning.
You always like opinion. I
You
don't
went on
understand.
I only just
Yeah,
noticed.
I don't understand.
Well, I mean, I guess like my state, I like. Well,
Good to have you.
good to be here. My
Welcome,
pleasure.
Uche.
Well, for you saying you miss me, well, it's be for circumstances beyond my control.
Yeah.
And then, of course, but I also miss being here. But
Yeah.
that means we have a lot to talk about today because of all the times we've
Yeah.
missed.
So let's catch up.
Yes, let's catch up basically because the last time I was here, we talked about the game that was going to take place between France and their opponents for the semi-finals of the World Cup, which was Spain at the time. Well, that game has now been played and France has been knocked out, and they will play the game nobody really wants to play in football, which is the third place match, the bronze fixture against England, who also got knocked out by Argentina just about 48 hours ago. So generally, for France, perhaps the biggest disappointment, because going into the tournament themselves, for me, alongside Argentina, looked the two teams who were the readiest and the most prepared for this World Cup. What do I mean? They contested in the last final 4 years ago, and the two of them have basically the same core of the team. When I mean two of them, I mean Argentina and France. They're still the same core of the teams that won the World Cup, or they played in the finals of the World Cup 4 years ago. For France, Mbappe is there. He was there 4 years ago. Adrien Rabiot was there 4 years ago. Aurelien Tchouameni was there 4 years ago. The only difference, perhaps, is the goalkeeper, Mike Maignan, who was not in goal at the time. So there's a lot of changes for a lot of the other teams, Spain, England, a lot of them. Phil Foden not at the World Cup, a lot of those players. But for France, it is the core of the team. And for Argentina, we've seen it as well. The only 7 new additions to this team from the team that played 4 years ago. And the lineups pretty much were the same as they were 4 years ago, except for Nicolas Otamendi, who's gotten older now. So we have Lisandro Martinez and Christian Romero playing as centre-back partners now instead of Otamendi, who was a stalwart in that team 4 years ago. So, but that aside, Gonzalo Montiel, the fullbacks, Nicolas Tagliafico, a lot of them. And then in midfield, Alexis McAllister. Then Paredes is the only one who was dropped. But there are a lot of those players who played 4 years ago.
Yeah, Enzo Fernandez was
exactly, Enzo Fernandez. I mean, even for the game yesterday against England, he was wearing the boots he wore. The pair of boots he wore 4 years ago, he used them again. So I guess it was some sort of...
that?
Yes, it was some sort of superstition for him. Because I remember the time, and he had a very good World Cup 4 years ago with that boot. So it made a lot of sense to me now that he went back to pick up those boots. And if you see the goal he scored against England, he was reminiscent of one of the ones he scored 4 years ago against Mexico. So generally, Argentina, yes, I expect them to be where they are, although they've gotten away with a few things, especially falling behind and conceding a lot of goals against people like Cape Verde and Egypt. But I expect them to be here. Then France, like I said, the biggest disappointment. I expected France to also be in the finals at least, but they are not here, unfortunately, because Spain, this Spanish team reminds me a lot of the 2010 team under Vicente Del Bosque. What do I mean? Vicente Del Bosque, if you remember 2010 in South Africa, they didn't play the most entertaining of football. Spain, they didn't play the most entertaining of football, but they were effective. The team looks pretty much like it was a descendant of the other teams. When I mean that, I mean Of course, except for defense, where you have a young Paul Kobasi now, instead of what used to be a very
Like
furious
Puyol.
Sergio Ramos or Carlos Puyol, you have people who are a bit more calm now in Emerick Laporte and Paul Kobasi. But in the fullbacks, you used to have Jesus Navas running the wings, running the fullback positions.
Yes.
Pedro Porro plays more like Jesus Navas. He never stays one place. Then you look at the left back position. Capdevila was the left back in 2010. If you look at this left back, Marco Correa, he plays pretty much the same way. He runs up and down. He never rests. He's a box of energy. Then you go to the midfield. I mean, they had perhaps the best midfield in world football at the time. Busquets, Iniesta, and Xavi.
With Rodri.
Yes, Xabi Alonso was the only one breaking that, the trio of the Barcelona players at the time to make it into the team.
Yes.
And then you go forward. That's the only place I think there is a change. The wingers pretty much the same. Spain has never really, except for Lamine Yamal, they've not really been blessed with wingers who were direct and pacey.
Yes.
But then the problem in this, the downgrade in my opinion is the striker. 2010, David Villa was at the top of his game.
Yeah.
Fantastic footballer, fantastic you see, yes, Oyarzabal is good, but he's not on the same level with David Villa.
It's not on the same
You
level.
look, the second striker, Ferran Torres, good, but not on the same level with David Villa. So that was the only place I felt there was a bit of a difference or a downgrade from the 2010 side. But generally, if you look across the team, just like the Busquets teams did, they took the possession of the ball from you. They stifled the game. They make the game slow.
Yeah.
Because that's the pace they want.
They bring it to their pace.
Yes, and that was what affected France. France play a high-tempo, high-paced games. Why? Dembele is fast. Mbappe is fast. Michael Olise will play the passes even if he's not as quick as the other two. So they want to move the ball as quickly as they possibly can, and they come up against a Spain team that sees the ball.
Yeah.
Which means they could no longer operate with the same pace that they would most likely want. Yes. You couldn't even run because you didn't have the pass to run to. That was what Spain did, and that was why I think they took the game from France. France, you were telling me before we came on air about the fact that N'Golo Kante did not play.
Yeah.
I don't think that was even a game that needed the likes of N'Golo Kante.
You think so?
Yes. What France needed?
Let me believe you.
What France needed was somebody like Rabiot to step up. Rabiot was not the Rabiot we usually
Kante
see.
has the habit of cutting off passes.
That's the
and
thing.
Blocking.
Then if you cut off the pass, then what happens? Because it's not enough to win the ball back.
Let me leave you right.
It's not enough. I remember when when Didi used to play in the Premier League for Leicester City, Manchester United came this close to signing him one summer. But the only problem why they did not sign him, Didi was really good at getting the ball off opponents. But when he gets the ball off opponents,
what does he do with it?
That is the only thing. So it's good enough that you win possession, but then the possession is of no use if you win it and then lose the ball immediately because you can't play a 30 or 40-yard pass. And that's why I think N'Golo Kante, I'm not trying to take anything away from Kante. I watched Kante at his prime. Leicester City, Chelsea, all those years. Even 2018 World Cup, he was such a very important part of that team. But that game, the particular game against Spain was not the game I think France missed.
Talking about the fact that Spain likes to seize the ball and then France cowered, don't you think that France could have gingered the game?
Yeah,
if they had, so why did Spain win?
If you see the Spanish team, if you watch the Spanish teams play football, you understand that there's nothing like pressure.
People like Dani Olmo.
No, there's nothing like pressure.
Okay.
A certain Pedri would hold the ball in between 5 players and he will not lose it. Rodri will hold the ball between 5 players.
What of Dani Olmo?
Dani Olmo as well. Lose the ball. They don't lose possession. It is a collector's item. If a Spanish midfielder loses a ball, no matter how many people crowd it, the worst they can do, win a foul. They're still in possession of the ball because you fouled them. But to give you the ball away cheaply, that is not a Spanish way of playing football.
So this is football in mathematics.
Kind of mathematics, chess, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is for the Spanish.
Wow. What a strategy.
Yes, they move like chess pieces on the board.
What a strategy.
Be where you have to be. At every time a Spanish player has the ball, there are about 3 other options for him to play the pass.
To play the pass,
That's what, what they call it, tiki-taka, what it was usually called before it is now the tiki-taka. You take, you pass, you receive, you give, you receive. That's how they play. So when you say France, the most France can do is start to commit fouls. To make them a bit uncomfortable in their skin, but that will also give you a problem because you get people booked and events. So the only thing to do the only way to play against Spain is to match Spain the way Spain plays.
Exactly.
And that has happened a few times in the past where Spain come up against. Do you remember Japan in 2022 World Cup? Japan beat Spain by playing the Spanish way of football. And on that occasion, it worked because, like I said here, if you remember before the game against Brazil, Japanese players, they were willing to run for 2 hours, 3 hours if they have to. And that is a very important part of the game because if you come up against an opposition that likes to hold the ball, that means they want you to do the running. Hoping that you get tired about the 60th or 70th minute of the game, they penetrate. If you watch most of Spain's games, except from the game against Saudi Arabia in the second group game, they are not really a team that scores in the first half. Their last 2 games before this semi-final, Mikel Merino had to come off the bench to save them in the 9 minutes of the game. But before that, they had already won their opponent out. Spaces start to come up where they really did not exist initially because the legs get tired, the brains will follow it. So that's the usual, what they call it, a death by 1,000 cuts. That's what the Spanish people, they do when they play football. So, but against the Japanese side, they were willing to run for 3 hours. They were not getting tired. You are looking at these people, they're supposed to, based on your tactics, they're supposed to be tiring by now. But they are going.
They have the stamina.
They are going at it.
What about the Ulster of England? How do you feel about
for England, I don't want to call it unlucky because I think they got what they deserved eventually. If you played the way they played after scoring in the 55th minute of the game, then you understand what I mean by I say they got what they deserve. Argentina has proven time and time again. If you give them the ball, or you give that little man they call Lionel Messi the ball, something is going to happen. And England sitting back for 30 minutes is way too long.
Yeah, that change me bringing in Konsa.
It's way too long.
I doubt
even before he brought in Konsa, they had immediately after England scored, the mindset shifted on the field. You could see players falling deeper and deeper. Harry Kane was no longer in the Argentina half; he was in the English half. Jude Bellingham was, boxed in their half. The fullbacks who initially applied a lot of pressure running down the wings, they started to defend. That is a mental shift in the brain, natural shift as well. Because your brain is not telling you have something to defend, but that's where the coach comes in. Say, no, I know naturally your brains are telling you to fall back, but I want you 30 yards up the pitch. Yes, 30 yards up the pitch, push up. And then, like you said, when he eventually made that sub to take off a winger, not just any winger, the goal scorer of the match, and bring in a centre back. That was, I think, the kiss of death for the English because the moment he came on, and then it is fine and good having too many defenders, but you cannot have too many defenders and leave a certain Lionel Messi free. People do not understand when it is Cristiano Ronaldo, for instance. If you cut the supply to Cristiano, he's pretty much not going to be useful in the game. That was why I felt the Portuguese midfield disappointed him at this World Cup because they didn't create any chances for him. But Lionel Messi, you don't have to cut off the supply to Messi. He is the supply.
Yes.
Okay.
He can be the supply, he can be the finisher, depending on where he gets the ball. So I get it. That makes it even more difficult to mark him. But that also means he's a lot more useful in the games. He didn't score, but he gave 2 assists.
The two goals came from him.
The 2 goals came from him, especially the second one that eventually came, from Lautaro Martinez. That was a cross with his right foot.
Yes.
If you know Messi, you know that his right foot is as good as dead.
Yes.
But when you give him that much space, he can calm himself down and cross.
Yes.
And that was what Martinez was at the back post. So for England, I felt like I said they got what they deserved. You deserve to lose if you fall back that deeply, that early in the game against defending champions of the world. If you give them time, look, every team in the world can score goals. But the only problem in football is you only have 90 minutes to do that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
These people that you saw at the World Cup,
for it.
You see these people at the World Cup that you see, small nations, they're not scoring. They play 4 World Cup games, no goals, no nothing. They will eventually score if you give them enough time. But the only problem in football, you have only 90 to do it. So Argentina would always eventually break you down if you give them enough time. Spain will break you down if you give them enough time. That's the only thing. So be as compact and as as threatening as you can be for most of the game. Let them get 2 or 3 chances, and then you see what happens. But like I said, disappointment for England, and the news has been coming out of England that the FA are still supporting Thomas Tuchel. On the other side, a lot of people want him to get sacked because he was solely brought in to win the World Cup. My opinion on that, it doesn't work that way. You look at the likes of Argentina. Lionel Scaloni has been there for over 5 years, 6 years. Won the first World Cup, he's still there. You look at Spain. Everybody is admiring the Spanish way of playing football. For Spain, one thing about Spanish football is they have a lot of patience. They have a lot of patience for managers. This Luis de la Fuente we are seeing now take Spain to the World Cup final after winning the Euros with Spain in 2024 as well.
Yes.
He started coaching from the under-19 Spanish team. went to the under 21, went to the under 23, took them to the Olympics, and then became the national team coach. A lot of these players you are talking about, like Dani Olmo, Pedri, and all of those players, he coached them as youngsters. Nico Williams and the likes. He coached Lamine Yamal. He coached him as a youngster in the junior cadets. Yes, at the junior cadets of Spanish football. That is what's the progression and patience gets you.
Process.
Yes. So for England to now say get rid of Thomas Tuchel doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, because then that means you're just pushing your problem.
Just in 1 minute, the matches that are coming to end the World Cup.
Well, one thing is certain, by the time I come here next on Monday, we will know who has become the world champions.
Yes.
For the final, it is, of course, England. England. It's going to be Germany. Spain against Argentina. What is going on in my head? Well, what that means for Argentina as well is a big problem. Because for the things I've highlighted about how the Spanish play football, Argentina have also proven to be very, very poor defensively.
All right, we'll wait to see.
We'll see what happens by the time I come on Monday.
Thank you, Anthony Uche, for being there. Well, viewer, thank you for still staying with us. We'll continue with Morning Dew when we come back.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
The Delta Broadcast Media Organization, in conjunction with the Delta State Ministry of Information, presents the Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0. Theme: The Broadcast Media as a Democratic Catalyst, Shaping Public Trust and Electoral Credibility in 2027. Keynote speaker, Sheon Okimbaloye. Anchor, Politics Today on Channels Television. Guest speakers, Ayo Mairo Essay. Anchor, Arise News. Agatha Amata, CEO, Trend FM. Samuel Fejoku, veteran broadcaster and senior special assistant to the governor on protocol. Guest of honor, Honorable Charles Ehiedu Aneagu, Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information. And Right Honorable Imomotimi Dennis Guo. Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Oborewori, the Executive Governor of Delta State. Convener, Media Personality, Ruki Onoro. Date, August 14, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba. There'll be high-level networking, media interaction, capacity building, awards, and lots more. Register to attend on www.deltabroadcastmediaconference.org. For inquiries, call 0706-701-8400, 0803-874-9265. Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0, powered by Delta State Government. Sponsors, Dominion Pearl Homes and One Niger app. Supported by NTA, DBS, Quest FM and TV, Warri Sentinel, Trend FM, Mega FM, Baramatu Voice, Boko FM, Crown FM, Sleek FM.
Echoes of the Niger Delta, telling the stories, preserving the heritage, and amplifying the voices of the people. Join the journey every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. only on Dott Television.
Broadcast Media Organization, in conjunction with the Delta State Ministry of Information, presents the Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0. Theme: the broadcast media as a democratic catalyst, shaping public trust and electoral credibility in 2027. Keynote speaker, Sheon Okimbaloye. Anchor, Politics Today on Channels Television. Guest speakers, Ayo Mairo Essay. Anchor, Arise News. Agatha Amata, CEO, Trend FM. Samuel Fejoku, veteran broadcaster and senior special assistant to the governor on protocol. Guest of honor, Honorable Charles Ehiedu Aneagu, Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information. And Right Honorable Imomotimi Dennis Guo. Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Oborewori, the Executive Governor of Delta State. Convener, media personality, Ruki Onoro. Date, August 14, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba. There'll be high-level networking, media interaction, capacity building, awards, and lots more. Register to attend on www.deltabroadcastmediaconference.org. For inquiries, call 0706-701-8400, 0803-874-9265. Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0, powered by Delta State Government. Sponsors, Dominion Pearl Homes and One Niger app. Supported by NTA, DBS, Quest FM and TV, Warri Sentinel, Trend FM, Mega FM, Baramatu Voice, Oko FM, Crown FM, Sleek FM, Eku FM, Big Heart Radio, Cruise FM, Atlantic TV, Rise FM, and Dott TV.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, we want to, ease off a little by hearing some gist from the entertainment world. And of course, Kira AK is in the studio. Good to see you, Kira.
Thank you very much.
I like the word you used, ease off, because it's been intense since morning.
Oh,
Kira,
wow.
thanks for coming.
And I hope your gist is going to cheer us up.
Well,
not
yes. Quite a number of things
All
has
right.
happened since the last
Let's
time I
start
was
with the
here.
good news.
Well, it's not really good news per se. It's more of disappointment as I'm going to start it.
Oh
Sorry.
my.
Sorry.
Heartbreak.
I didn't come to ease off. But nice to meet you. Talk to you. You look amazing. in
Thank you. Beloved.
All right. On today's news in entertainment, I picked quite a number of things that I feel like we should talk about and relate, with. So we will talk about baby mama drama today, visa denials, scam and content creation. But we'll talk about. Let's start with Kata Efe.
Okay.
Because what happened to Rami Shokam?
Mm.
Yes, absolutely. Nigerian streamer and content creator Kata Efe has shown disappointment after revealing that his visa application was denied. Speaking during one of his live streams, Kata Efe said he was frustrated by the difficulty of traveling abroad, adding that he feels trapped despite his desire to leave the country. In his own words, he said, "I won't lie to you. We are trapped in this country. In case you don't know, we are trapped. You cannot go anywhere you want to. We are finished, bro. We are doomed. I swear to God." Moving away.
Where was he trying to go to?
He was trying to go to the United States of America.
But of course, everybody knows that visa restrictions have been.
Yeah, but for
enforced.
he's a popular streamer in Nigeria. After him comes, I think, Bella, in Nigeria. So he's trying to broaden his horizon and try the other,
He should wait until Nigeria gets better and then apply.
Anyway, but they denied him and they shocked him. So with all his money, with all
Fine.
his influence, he's popular in Nigeria. I don't know if you guys know
I
about.
didn't know that somebody can even apply now. I thought that the restriction was total. Absolute.
No, but like she said, he felt he was popular.
He felt
He's
his popularity.
actually popular,
Yes.
but
He felt his popularity
Donald
and,
Trump would know him.
being a content creator.
Let's just say. So away from that, another content creator, Maraji, has sparked a conversation on social media after encouraging Black women to embrace their natural hair instead of relying on wigs and hair extensions to feel beautiful. Speaking in a video that has gone viral, the comedian questioned why Black women often feel pressured to wear hair textures different from their own hair. She said that mindset made her reconsider her relationship with her own natural hair. According to Maraji, she once believed Black people did not have good hair based on we are always told to wear hair extensions. A mindset that pushed her to understand and appreciate her natural hair. Maraji also expressed her dislike for the phrase protective style, saying that it's frustrating. She believes that no other group of people on earth feels the need to keep their natural hair covered or While affirming that hairstyles such as cornrows or back shuku are beautiful and elegant, she questioned the constant emphasis on hiding one's natural hair. She recalled also attending an interview with Ebukobi Uchendo while wearing a fake Afro bun over her packed natural hair. She revealed that some people wrongly associated her appearance with a religious group. She also went on to criticize those who look down on women who choose to wear their natural hair instead of expensive wigs. According to Maraji, she has met many wealthy women in Ghana who confidently wear locks, buns, relaxed hair, or their natural hair without relying on wigs. I would like to say exactly what she said. So in her own words, she said, "Why are we the only group of people who have to wear another texture of hair to feel beautiful? Why are we the only people who have to protect our hair? Like put it in cornrows and then wear another texture of hair on top of our hair." That made me want to know my hair. That made me want to understand my hair. So I started wearing my hair and I started putting it in bun. It was really short when I started, but I just wanted to wear what's mine. I was washing it as much as I could, and then I started to enjoy my hair. And that was when I started hating the idea of protective style. Genuinely, every time I hear that phrase, it annoys me. The idea that we are constantly protecting the hair annoys me because no other group of people keep their hair locked away 12 months in a year with the idea that they are protecting it. From what exactly? The people I'm talking to who have assets, land, cars, houses, they are wearing locks, they have locks, or they have natural hair, or they have it in a bun, or they have it relaxed, or they have it grow, like they actually wear hair coming out of their, skull.
Naturally.
This particular story made me think about Dr. Ife. African woman to the core. African woman to the core. But I think this is coming from this. Could this be classism?
Wow.
Or social engineering?
Inferiority complex.
Do you think it's inferiority complex?
Yes, because that was what Michael Jackson did. He felt his nose was not pointed. He went for plastic surgery. And then
do you know that managing natural hair is very expensive?
It's actually very
expensive.
It's very expensive.
Yes, if I have to go for wash day, I have to put aside a lot of money.
Managing natural hair.
Yes, very
it's more expensive.
How?
It's different.
Why?
What you're used to.
Yes.
I need to explain
More
this
expensive
to
than
Bishop.
buying your so-called
what you're used to.
No, that is different when you're buying, those aesthetics hair.
You
like
buy
those
it
bond
and
strips.
you
You buy
keep
it
it.
expensive.
But
like
when
it.
you have to
But
go
your
to take care
natural
of your hair almost every month, or sometimes twice a month, it's intense and it's different, from your time. Then there was nothing like leave-in conditioners, that make the hair soft.
Even the natural hair now has its own relaxers.
People were suffering at that time, but now you can manage your natural hair without pain.
But
all of those things cost money.
It do, but I do believe that women don't understand the influence of hair because it's one's identity as well.
Yes.
I mean, your hair is your identity, just like your skin color. A black man is always a black man.
Because
Michael Jackson was like his white vitiligo or
wearing wig is like bleaching your skin. They are the same thing.
I think
so you're looking for what you don't have or what you think you don't have.
I'm no longer where you are.
The impact of bleaching skin is worse.
But let's quickly go to another content creator, Gege. Gege still on identity crisis.
Content creators are making
Gege. Well, Gege has shown Nigerian men ways to, create several of their identities with several women. It's like he gave them the green card to be the Jonas Gomorrah of Nigeria. So Nigerian content creator Gege has triggered online conversations after sharing his view that men shouldn't have all their children with one woman.
They've come again.
In a view that has gone viral, Gege argued that men should have children with different women rather than relying on a single partner. They will break your hearts. According to him, modern relationship dynamics have changed, and he claimed that women ultimately have greater control over access to children. He suggested that if a man falls out with the mother of his child, she could restrict his relationship with the child. He further argued that a man's recognition as a parent is often tied to the responsibilities he fulfills, warning that disagreements with a child's mother could leave some fathers with limited involvement in their children's lives. I would like to say exactly what he said. He said, the worst mistake that you can make as a man, not to allow one woman born for you. Don't make that kind of mistake. If not 4 children in one born, make like 4 different women born and for you. Modern problems require modern solutions. Man, no, they get pikin. Now, woman will get pikin. You know. If a woman is including you in the ownership of a child, and because of responsibility, so once you not do what she wants, she go restrict your access. So you go come old, you know, go get pikin.
I was just looking at the person that is advising us.
That's exactly my point.
Exactly.
The person who is saying this thing now, does he have a child? Is he married?
Yeah, he's not married.
He's not married. And another question I want to ask.
Okay,
when is the certificate coming out from the Gege University of
I
Dott?
don't know. I'm not part of it. I'm not a student of
Yes.
it. Of his
Please,
institution.
you need to help us ask
I will
him.
check.
Yes,
Yes,
so
I
think he said
some of the
something
men who
about-
have graduated need the certificate.
Some men are actually following what he said word for word, like
absolutely.
applying it in their lives.
Applying it,
in their lives.
We've seen some celebrities
Of course,
doing that
when
already.
you preach, whatever you are preaching, you have your listeners.
Let's not call
Yeah.
names, but
So
we know
as
that
he's
some
preaching,
people...
that people say, yes, it's making sense. But it didn't
And
make any
even
sense to me.
this very case now, or this very lecture of his now, there are some men. Yes,
I
I,
feel like
I have
it's
to call it.
No, but it's
No, but it's a lecture.
If
But
you
there are
have-
some
if
persons
you
that
have-
will also, inclined to it.
He's saying that if you have all your children with one woman, the woman will restrict you.
Yes.
Okay, is it the ones you have one that they will not restrict you?
I think he's talking
Or that you will not have
futuristically. In
No,
case of a
because,
divorce,
yes.
or in case of a
yes.
separation,
A
you
separation.
can,
Somebody
yes.
who is laying foundation
can-
for the
yes.
already. Is he responsible?
Okay.
No,
Please
in
give
case.
us
He
the
said
next
something.
version.
I think I read somewhere. He said that if he were as rich as Obi Kubana,
Yes.
that he will, because he recognized that you need a lot of financing
Of
To
Yeah.
be able
to be
to
able
do
to
what
manage
he
Do all
multiple
that,
homes.
yes.
Yes.
In this
No,
economy.
at least he has the
Having
decency
one wife is
to
enough.
provide
It's
for all of
enough
them.
while like you are talking about having children with.
Do you know the-
And do you know there was a time he also said you marry one wife is a problem, marry two so that you will be free. When
this one gives you
this
problem,
this
you
one will
can
be
go
give,
to
this
the
one
other
they will have to
person.
give the
That's
other
the man that doesn't like
problem. They'll give
responsibility.
themselves problem and you'll be
Meanwhile,
free.
meanwhile, in the same conversation, we have a music executive, Ubi Franklin, who came out to reveal that the worst decision he has ever had to make in his life is having children with multiple women. Okay. He said this in a video he shared on his
Somebody
verified Instagram page. Ubi advised young men to avoid making such mistakes. In his own words, he said, one of my biggest mistakes is having children with different women. I wish that some things that had happened in my life had taken a different road on it. And this is one of them. No matter the money that you think you have, no matter what you think you're doing, trust me, that should never be anything that you are going to do or a decision you are going to make in your life. Taking care of them is not the problem, but managing the emotions of the adults who are their mothers. So I want to tell you something as young people, please and please, no matter the money you have or the life you want to live, let baby mama drama not be a part of it. Meanwhile, they say people should have like multiple.
This preaching by
No.
Ruby,
I think things have balanced themselves.
Yes,
This
yes.
man has responded to the other man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kira, for coming. That's what we're going to end
so
it.
much.
on.
Later,
Thank you for
You have another story?
I have more, but
You have more? How many?
I have more. I just have two more, but I can give you just
Okay,
one more.
just give us one more.
Just let me give you my final story.
For Kira's sake.
Because my final story today is inspirational and motivational,
Okay, yeah.
depending on how you look at it
Yes.
as a content creator.
Go ahead.
The last time I was here, I came with Spotify's top 10 African most listened, artists and Nigerians are making the list.
Yeah.
Today I came with top 10 time 100 content creators.
Okay.
So we cannot look at the whole 100 people.
Yes.
So I had to choose the 10.
10.
Yes, the 10. So leading on number 1 is Alex Earl, who has made a career out of oversharing on the internet. Nobody saw her actually taking this sport. Maybe because her content are very, very laid back and relatable. Then at number 2, we have Alan Chicken Chow, who has been crowned the most watched shorts creator with 101 million subscribers and counting. And number 3 is the comedian Drew Desbordes, popularly known as Drewski. Drewski creates outlandish yet familiar characters. And then number 4, we have hair and beauty content creator Brentman Rock. And number 5, we have Darren Jason Watkins Jr., popularly known as I Show Speed, with a combined following of over 150 million followers across platforms. I Show Speed is known for his larger-than-life content. And number 6, we have Quinley Blackwell, known for her absurd humor-style comedy called Freak Content. She's also very particular about her humble beginnings. And number 7, we have Karim Rahman. Karim has interviewed people on the New York City subway. He has featured people like top celebrities, journalists, public figures, and politicians. He actually brings them to the subway. I don't know how he does that, but somehow he figured it out. And then on number 8, we have another beauty YouTuber and content creator, Jackie Aina. She is the only Nigerian on this list. I mean, Nigerians are, we must make the list.
Yeah.
And number 9, we have Alex Cooper, a popular podcast host. She's known for her raunchy podcast named Call Me Daddy, that has been rated 5-star. And finally, on number 10, we have Mark Fitchback, popularly known as the Markiplier. These are the top 10 content creators for 2026, according to Time Magazine.
Thank you, Kira, for bringing out this fact to us. And of course, to entertaining us also with some of these your G's.
Are you going to do what Keke said?
Somebody says and somebody counters.
Oh,
so we don't have anything to say.
Yes.
Well, viewer, thank you for being with us. When we come back, it to be another kind of conversation. Thank you for staying with us.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
The Delta Broadcast Media Organization, in conjunction with the Delta State Ministry of Information, presents the Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0. Theme: The Broadcast Media as a Democratic Catalyst, Shaping Public Trust and Electoral Credibility in 2027. Keynote speaker, Sheon Okimbaloye. Anchor, Politics Today on Channels Television. Guest speakers, Ayo Mairo Essay. Anchor, Arise News. Agatha Amata, CEO, Trend FM. Samuel Fejoku, veteran broadcaster and senior special assistant to the governor on protocol. Guest of honor, Honorable Charles Ehiedu Aneagu, Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information. And Right Honorable Imomotimi Dennis Guo. Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Oborewori, the Executive Governor of Delta State. Convener, media personality, Ruki Onoro. Date, August 14, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba. There'll be high-level networking, media interaction, capacity building, awards, and lots more. Register to attend on www.deltabroadcastmediaconference.org. For inquiries, call 0706-701-8400, 0803-874-9265. Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0, powered by Delta State Government. Sponsors, Dominion Pearl Homes and One Niger app. Supported by NTA, DBS, Quest FM and TV, Warri Sentinel, Trend FM, Mega FM, Baramatu Voice, Boko FM, Crown FM, Sleek FM, Eku FM, Big Heart Radio, Cruise FM, Atlantic TV, Rise FM, and Dott TV.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back, viewer. Thank you for staying with us. Of course, our conversation is shifting. We're looking at our urban centers. A lot of times when it rains, we have issues. And people say some people build on waterway. Other ones put up structures and then, of course, extend it to even the road. And we see places where some people will use red ink and mark X, mean build for destruction. And after the marking of X, the building still remains and the X disappears. These are questions in our mind, and we have a man in the studio who has exact answers for these issues. Talking about TPL, Ambassador Richard Refo, who is Assistant Director, Urban Development in Ministry of Physical and Urban Renewal. Of course, the chartered town planner. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you in the studio.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Of course, Ify and Success are still here. Now, we have a lot to discuss, but we are going to compress it. Let's start with your job, town planning. Can you explain in simple terms, even though it looks explicit, but what is involved in town planning?
In a simple compound word,
yes,
town planning is about providing technical, strategic.
That is not simple.
Okay.
When it's technical and strategic, it's no longer
responses to urban development issues,
okay,
problems, challenges, issues that has to do with congestion, population pressure, and infrastructural deficiencies and all that, and effective utilization of land use. That the significance or signification of planning, so to speak, has to do with everything that has to do with the land mass. Land is the host for every activity function of town planning. So there must be an issue, there must be a problem, either human, psychological, philosophical, either urban, rural, industrial, educational, ecological, whatever. That chronological sequence of order, that action it provides to mitigate the adverse effects of, human, growth or development is planning.
All right. The word town is very key to planning. That means we're talking about urban centers.
Yes.
Now, most of times we hear of master plan.
Okay.
Of a city, master plan of a town. This master plan, does it come before the town exists or after the town has started existing?
It should, in principle and by ethical practice, comes before the town exists.
Okay.
But it's rather unfortunate that in our clients, we've seen the rustiness, the disjointed nature of these towns and cities, the coordinated and regulated natures of town buildings within the urban landscape. We talk like planners, and it's bringing questions. Are there no town planners across the Asaba Capital Territory or the Wari Urie, and its environs? Yeah, but we've seen an absence of, implementation of government policies, programs, projects, planning perspective, planning projections. The name Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Renewal is very strategic and German towards providing response to the rot we're just heightening a year. So when you say physical planning, it has to do with how lands and buildings are ordered along transportation line to bring about maximum input, to bring about aesthetics, beauty, comfort, convenience, are you hearing me? Environmental amenity, to bring about safety and orderliness. That is the cruise of the matter.
Now, before my people come in now, let me rub this one in. Let's take Asaba, for instance.
Good.
A place called Asaba existed before it was made a capital territory.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you this. While it was Asaba, in terms of the people of old, was there a master plan? Now, before we came as a capital, is there a new master plan? How do you marry the two plans, if they were?
And in the old times, they respond to local ordinances through the palace, through the local chiefs and all that. You know, just like, I don't want to talk about Benin. You see those colonial masters, they came, all those YRA, those are the advents of town planning in our town. You know, you have government reservation areas and all that.
GRA.
So, but when it became an administrative town, you know, there was really no spelled out master plan. You know, master plan is a policy document, you know, that enhances the urban governance systems and structure of communities.
Yeah.
And those master plan, when broken down, it has a multiplier effect in it cuts across all facets of community life: social, religious, political, ecological, environment, educational life. That's the master. It addresses those considerations to the satisfaction and improvement of life and the quality of environment of the townscape.
Okay. Now, what's when the master plan, like the Asaba master plan, is not adhered to, what are the implications? That's one. And who is supposed to enforce that adherence to the master plan?
Repeat the question again.
The first one, okay, you can answer them one by one.
Okay.
The master plan that is existing for Asaba presently is supposed to regulate where the built environment will be, where horticultural things will be, farms and all of that, even forest reserve, possibly.
School can be.
So
where a school can be situated.
When we flout that master plan and begin to do something that was not prescribed by the master plan, what are the implications?
These are the planning implications in terms of, you know, that's why I believe I'm here, provide planning education, and so that we can be able to manage space most effectively and all that. So His Excellency, you know, the former governor of Delta State, he created the Ministry of Urban Renewal. So just 2 years ago, they changed the appellants to physical planning. So urban renewal is just a segment of physical planning.
Okay, physical planning is more all-encompassing.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
So the implications are this. So we are now in the Ministry of Urban Renewal. Urban renewal is a strategic tool, providing response towards the dichotomies and the challenges experienced in physical planning. So now, urban renewal as a concept brings about the revival and the resuscitation and the regeneration of decaying urban centers vis-a-vis town in this regard. So now, urban renewal is strategies, its implementation strategies are this. Number one, if you want to, let me give an example. York in New York, for example, it was an old decaying town or neighborhood. So when there was an implementation of government policy, it became New York.
Because there's a renewal.
So there was a renewal through what I call infrastructural upgrade, redevelopment, total clearance, environmental preservation, environmental conservation. These are the tools that you use in addressing those decaying aspects of, you know, the townscape.
The urban center.
So when you say total clearance, for example, the other day, I know 2 years ago, I wrote in the pointer that we are engaged the stakeholders in cable points. So they're now calling for urban renewal in
That
cable,
area.
because we all know it's one of the pinpoint centers that are really degenerated. It cannot even pass for a conurbation. You know, the blight around cable cast a huge aspersion on the dignity of this profession, this distinct profession of urban planning.
And the city of Asaba.
And the city of Asaba. So it begins. So I have vigorously advocated and called for a renewal of cable. And the honorable commissioner was asking me, the former commissioner, so like, what are the cost implications and the cost projection? I said, like, we're looking at $30 million. $30 billion. I say, is it $30 million? I say, yes. If we bring 1 trillion into the economy of Delta State in terms of new town development, because one, it will bring about new town development. So you call it new cable, because all forms of public utility and services, infrastructures will be provided. Well-paved road, drainage, street light, clean energies and all that. All technologically driven initiative and innovative solution will be brought into that new city. So there will be a renewal because the city dies. It's like a human being.
Are you going to, in that process, like old houses, are you going to destroy them or you compel the owners to?
No, when you are employing the tool of total clearance, redevelopment, it demands total clearance of all cable points to the original state of the land. So you build a new city that incorporates every infrastructure, facilities and services.
How do you manage this activity
so now,
with the human beings that are living
I love
there?
that. I love that. You engage them through planning education. There's what we call resettlement planning. Now we engage you. We know these cultural things, land tenure systems, they will not be able to move. Then we now mobilize and engage the law, the town planning law. We do through betterment and compensation. If the cost of your building, that old dilapidated building, is maybe 20 million, we'll give you 60. And we also relocate you to somewhere that you will find convenience, that has cultural affiliation with your belief system, you understand, to increase the dignity of your livelihood and all that. Are you hearing me? So with that, you will naturally move to another environment. Then that is the resettlement planning we are talking about.
Has it ever happened in Nigeria?
It's happening in Morocco, Lagos. Just some flashes of place. It's still happening in Abuja. Those are places you see planning inclusiveness.
What about the cost implication?
That's what I'm saying. The cost implication is this. When you have a cost projection of 10 years, you engage we were talking about urban governance. You engage one of the institutions that will drive urban governance effectively is the banking institution. Even the traditional rulers, you engage them, you can do a world-class presentation to World Bank. They bring this money in through tripartite partnership and all that. The money can be repaid. I'm a faith-based practitioner, for example. I know I built the Academy of Christian Science. I engaged the bank. They brought the millions, and I paid through my strategic, services to the public. I write a lot. I write books. I sell books. So it can be done, but the problem is this. Let me indict the state government a little bit, most profoundly. You understand? I am personally disappointed. Personally, my soul cries every day, seeing the rot in the urban landscape, in the townscape, wherever the gentleness we're experiencing, that poor political will, that low commitment towards functional urban governance and inclusive planning has become counterproductive to the implementation status of the distinct profession of urban planning. I'm disappointed.
There's something I asked you, and when you were answering, you were educating us, so you veered off. So let's come back to it. Because if we do not understand the implication of deviating from the master plan, we may not understand
Sorry
why
for
we
cutting you
must
off.
adhere.
In the first place, there's no master plan in Asaba. But they have the Wari Uvie and Inter-Environ master plan, which is calling for review 2019. There's no review yet.
No,
but
let me
there's no master plan guiding the.
What about a situation where I've known of somebody who wants to build a church in a particular area, I won't mention.
Good.
And he is told by people from your organization that this place a church cannot be here because it's a residential area. Meanwhile, before long, hotel sprang up in the place.
But we are saying,
so what is guiding the development of Asaba?
Are we to indict government for that or
private
your
developers?
organization?
Private developers are driving the development of Asaba.
Based on their investment.
And there is no master plan for the development.
Guiding routes along desired lines, there's no master plan. But I'm aware that the state government has awarded a contract for the master plan. So there, very soon, I strongly believe there will be a steering committee to that effect. And the disappointment is this: the consultant, the town planning consultant that are now in government, they were not included in the team. It's people that don't understand the terrain in Delta State that were brought in. So there was a lacuna. So there was a delay for almost 2 years now. Because very soon you will see, professional expertise coming in, driving growth along, desired lines.
Let's come to brass tacks, for instance. We see situations where people from, let me use town planning. They get to a particular structure. And they mark X. And then after some time, what we understand is that X means this building is built for removal or destruction.
That is what you understand, my brother.
Okay.
But that X,
Okay. What does it mean?
is designed to make you come to the office to be educated by the town planner.
So
Because
No, we're talking about the structure that is
Educated,
standing
yes.
already. The structure is standing and they mark it X.
Sometimes
What
they,
should
they
we
write
understand?
something like submit plan.
One thing you need to understand, town planning is all about social services.
Okay.
It's a service to the people, improving livelihood, improving environmental quality of life and all that. That is it's a service. So by virtue of that service, they generate internal generated revenue to the government.
I agree with you,
And
but
my
the
question
X,
is, yes,
What
my,
X
that-
is,
my
that
question
means
is,
you have contravened the provision of the law.
Good.
okay, the question
So-
is it that the people from your end or the town planners or town planning are not, very effective? Because most of the times you notice that these buildings have gone to a particular stage.
Okay.
Do you understand? Before that mark comes in, is that mark, is it not supposed to come like when the foundation is set and maybe it has gotten to maybe the DPK level before going to that DPC level?
So I'll come to, let me start with this. Now, some people mistake layout and land use plan for a master plan. Most of the things the community have quarters in Asaba, they all have land use plan, layout plan, subdivision plan. Yes for church, yes for this, yes for that.
Okay, that's not
So
master
now,
plan.
When you are pregnant, who do you go to? The doctor. You go to the surgeon. Now, when there's an empty land, they don't come to us.
Okay.
Are you hearing me? They go ahead.
No, but every plan is approved by your office.
Every plan, not every plan.
Every drawing plan.
Not every plan. We approve building plans, but not every drawing plans. If it's unsustainable, if it lack adequate setback and airspaces, there are regulations, there are guides, there are codes. Are you hearing me? But most of the time, because of the money they have, they go into this development looking at the planners as a public enemy. But when they go to the field, they want to enforce compliance, but they sometimes, no security, the logistic is poor, machinery to drive, compliance, contravention tendency is poor. The provision of the law is there to enforce compliance, but no much support.
Okay,
Richard,
people
we're
are like you
going to
said,
come back on
it's
this conversation
slow
someday.
sometimes.
We'll invite you back because
Yes.
there's a lot to talk about.
Yes.
But we're constrained by time.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And of course, we want you to go back, prepare more because we have more questions for you.
It's in the body. It's
Thank
in
you.
it.
Yes, natural.
Thank you for coming.
It's natural.
And your
It's an
English is
inbuilt.
too high for a town planner.
No, it's allowed.
You are stay there with us. We'll be back with another conversation. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
The Delta Broadcast Media Organization, in conjunction with the Delta State Ministry of Information, presents the Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0. Theme: The Broadcast Media as a Democratic Catalyst, Shaping Public Trust and Electoral Credibility in 2027. Keynote speaker, Sheon Okimbaloye. Anchor, Politics Today on Channels Television. Guest speakers, Ayo Mairo Essay. Anchor, Arise News. Agatha Amata, CEO, Trend FM. Samuel Fejoku, veteran broadcaster and senior special assistant to the governor on protocol. Guest of honor, Honorable Charles Ehiedu Aneagu, Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information. And Right Honorable Imomotimi Dennis Guo. Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Oborewori, the Executive Governor of Delta State. Convener, Media Personality, Ruki Onoro. Date, August 14, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba. There'll be high-level networking, media interaction, capacity building, awards, and lots more. Register to attend on www.deltabroadcastmediaconference.org. For inquiries, call 0706-701-8400, 0803-874-9265. Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0, powered by Delta State Government. Sponsors, Dominion Pearl Homes and One Niger app. Supported by NTA, DBS, Quest FM and TV, Warri Sentinel, Trend FM, Mega FM, Baramatu Voice, Oko FM, Crown FM, Sleek FM, Eku FM, Big Hot Radio, Cruise FM, Atlantic TV, Rise FM, and Dott TV.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back, and thank you, viewer, for staying with us all the while. We are shifting in our conversation, and this time around, we're looking at media, broadcast media. Last year, there was the gathering of media broadcast media personalities in Delta State, and they came kind of fellowship, kind of training, kind of JoJo, kind of exchange of ideas. And then we hear of another edition of it, and we want to know what it's all about. That's why we are brought to the studio. Do we call it comrade? Rookie Honoro, a media personality and convener, Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0. You're welcome to our studio.
Welcome, Rookie.
Good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Glad to be here, enjoying your show. When I was just watching all of you doing your thing, this is beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks for the compliment.
Okay.
A lot of butterfly in our stomach.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's start. The vision for Broadcast Media Conference. How was it vetted? How did it come?
All right. First of all, I want to say a very big thank you to the management and staff of Dott Television. Congratulations on bringing this beautiful, excellent broadcast institution to Delta.
Asaba.
Yes.
To Asaba, precisely, exactly. I am overwhelmed by the aesthetics, the equipment you have is second to none. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I also want to say a very big thank you to the Executive Governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff F.O. Brewery, for stirring the cause of advancement in Delta State. You know, if you don't have a society where you have forward, where there's peace, where there's progress, you won't have forward thinkers. You know, because this conference is better off forward thinking. You know, so and also I want to say a very big thank you to the Commissioner for Information here in Delta State. He wears two hats. I think it's possibly maybe the only serving commissioner in Nigeria with two portfolios.
Two serious portfolios.
Ministry of Works, Rural Roads, and Ministry of Information.
Public information.
Public information, as is connoted now in Delta State. So in the person of Honorable Charles Anyagu, because we couldn't have done a media conference, a broadcast media conference without his go-ahead. You know, and yes, we had the first edition last year. You asked how the idea was birthed, right?
Yes.
We came together and said to ourselves, we need to chart a course for the broadcast media industry in Delta State. It's an industry that is over 30 years old. I mean, Delta will be celebrating our 35th anniversary next month, precisely on the 27th of August. And broadcasting actually started from the very first day of creation of Delta State.
That's right.
You know, and we thought all of these years we've never had a convergence of broadcasters. And these are the men, the women who go about their lives, you know, reporting government strides, you know, what's happening, the breaking news. We just tell the stories about what's happening around us, and little or nothing about our own industry, you know, because the broadcast media industry has got some critical issues that should be talked about. And we felt this would give that opportunity for all practitioners and professionals to come together and to discuss some of these issues. You know, so last year we gave it a first trial and it was hugely successful. And we said to ourselves,
From what point of view?
okay, first of all, the general acceptability of it. before we go to attendance, when we came up with the idea and we started meeting people, and at this moment, I'd like to say Samuel Fejoku, who happens to be our LOC chairman, it was the first we met, and he grabbed the idea with both hands. This is beautiful. Something like this is what we need in Delta State. And we went on to went from one general manager to another general manager. We traveled, because Delta is so huge, land mass wisely. We had to go to Warri, to Ugeli, to Eku, to meet these stations where they are. Yeah, there are stations in Eku.
So you had to actually tour stations.
Of course, everywhere. In fact, now that you all just arrived, we had to come here too. Because we went everywhere to ensure that they catch the idea and catch the vision. It's not a one-man show. It's for everybody.
It's for us.
It's for us. It's our conference. All media personalities. Plus, we're also having the regulators. Last year, we had Born, representative of Born at the attendance. Yes. And no, not Born FM, Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria. And of course, we also reached out to the NBC as well, because these are the regulators. Last year, we had the person of the governor represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Information himself. We also had the Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, because, all we do should have legislative backing. So we felt it should be nice to have all of these key stakeholders. We had private investors as well last year. And I'm just giving you all the indices of how successful it was last year. And this year, we said, when you pass through a road and it was really good. We couldn't finish all the conversations last year. So this year we said, you know what,
When music night, we play twice.
let's have a season 2. And that's how we kicked off again. Of course, media rounds again, sensitization, calling all the member bodies, the NUJ, the RATAU, the NIPR, so we all can be, we could have a robust attendance, so we could discuss. This time around now, election is around the corner. The media does have a role to play. We've seen cases where media houses report fake news. We've seen the
Media houses. Or private.
Well, it has happened once in Delta, where a station announced that somebody won an election and it wasn't the one. I think if you could remember way back to Ibori versus Ogbonrun, there was a news like that. So things like that we want to curb. We want to ensure that we get it right, because this is a very sensitive time in our nation. And we're bringing some of the finest media figures in Nigeria who have carved a niche for themselves.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Let me ask a question here.
Yeah.
Now, it is for broadcast media practitioners. Those are the primary. Now, how do you assess the response of the media practitioners themselves to this vision?
Well, last year we had
how they came.
Yeah, last year we had over 500 in attendance. Practitioners, media practitioners, media professionals, because we had professionals from the universities, mass communication departments of Dennis Osadebe at the time, and we also had from the Delta State Polytechnic, Guashiku. We had their students and their lecturers last year. Acceptability, it was overwhelming. In fact, when I saw the crowd, I was like, oh my God, how did we get here? I didn't know ideas can just snowball into a movement, so, and that's what we're trying to do again. This year, we're still seeing a lot of acceptability. Like, for instance, we're live at Dott TV. We just met with your management less than 24 hours ago, and now we're here with you, and we met with a new radio station that just came on board here in Delta as well. So, and there's nowhere we've gone to that they turned us down.
No, they can't tell you that it's our own.
Exactly. And even the private investors or businesses that are here in Delta, There's nowhere we've gone to and they said, oh, this is not what we want to do. Okay, in fact, this is what we want to support. We're giving you this as a support. We want you to do this. We want you to do that. Find a way to. In fact, we decided to come up with an award session this time around. And one fellow we met yesterday just said, you know what, for that category, I'm giving 300,000 naira.
Amazing.
For a category alone. So you could see the acceptability of what we're trying to do.
Partner with you as
Exactly,
well.
exactly.
I'll come in here because when you talk about elections and you've told us that the government is with you, everyone is supporting you, Dott is also with you. I saw our logo, on your publicity jingle, and that tells a lot. Lots of stations are with you. But one would have thought that an initiative of this nature, that when you're talking of media independence, especially in the face of election, didn't you think that having a sense of independence, because it seems like the government is fully involved, somebody may even confuse and say, is it possible that the government is hosting because of the enormous government involvement? So how do you convince us that this is still independent, given that media is about independent press, fairness, and all of that, so that everybody has a fair playing ground eventually?
Okay, so I'll answer your question of the reactions we got last year.
Okay.
Last year in the build up to the conference, there were some anger in the minds of practitioners. They were like, oh, we're doing this conference, okay, but government has failed to do this, they failed to do that, they failed to do that. So it's an opportunity to call out the government. More so we had it inside government house.
And this time again.
Inside government house.
Again.
So I hope they will not. But by and large, it was peaceful, right? They had the thing to say that was a burden to their minds, right to the faces. No, the practitioners. There was a burden in their minds to the faces of government. It was really loud, so much so that when it was loud, it was intense. When the government representative came on board to answer the questions, the crowd almost went boo, but we are practitioners. We had to. I like the fact that it was organically controlled, and they had to come down and hear what the government had to say. And when the government was done, everybody was like, okay. Let's fix our problems ourselves, and the ones government could do, they could do. And immediately after the conference, we saw some changes. Quite frankly, the state-owned media houses, we saw what the huge chunk of money that was appropriated to them of the 2026 budget.
So arising from that conference.
Arising from the conference, yes, because it was really intense. When I was like, how did we get here? But these were burning issues, right? And away from that, Delta is one state that I know got press freedom. There's no journalist in Delta that is being suffocated. I stand to be corrected. If there's anybody, this is even a platform for you to even come out and say so. The
conference is a forum to say so.
Yes, it's a forum to say so.
One would have thought that it would be an opportunity for government to further bottle journalists. But I'm happy that Delta journalists are coming out to utilize this platform to engage government directly. Because sometimes there's this gap between us and the government. But you provided a platform, and I think that's
exactly.
Amazing.
And quite frankly, after that conference, I started seeing, personally now as a journalist here in Delta State, I started seeing certain level of respect for my person.
Okay.
And I believe it also cut across some of our colleagues. You get to call a certain commissioner for an interview. It takes your call now.
Before they could have politely avoided it.
Before they would even bounce your call.
Now let's look at the issues we want to speak to this time. Because like you said, there are issues.
True.
A large chunk of the media houses we have in Delta State are owned by government.
True.
And all politicians. And then some of them tend to, let me say, they are not doing enough to make these media houses run the way they should run. That's an issue. And then, of course, we as media professionals, we have our own issues too.
Absolutely.
So in this present one we're going to do, that is 2.0, what are the issues we intend to address?
Well, this one is the theme in itself is the broadcast media as a democratic catalyst, shaping public trust and credible elections. So the theme in itself is already geared towards the 2027 elections. That is, give or take 6 months away, less than 6 months away. And we felt, okay, let's see how the broadcast media can be that catalyst. And what is a catalyst? A catalyst is something that speeds up the rate of reaction, right? So if we want to see a more progressive Delta, because it's really going to be interesting when you look at the politicking that would happen in a couple of months. Here in Delta, you have a former governor coming in. You have a lot of players. It's going to be a very big one. So what is the role of the media? These are the issues we want to discuss this time. Yes, we will talk about those other issues that involve our local players here. Those would also be, because we're having panel sessions. This brings me now to the guests we're bringing. Now, these guests, they have distinguished themselves nationally with respect to political reportage. We're bringing Sheun Okimbaloye of Channels Television. We're bringing Ayo Mairo Essay of Arise News. And we're bringing one of the foremost TV personality in Nigeria. She's been hosting a TV show for the last 20 years. And she's from Delta State, Agatha Amata. You know, she has a TV station and a radio station. So we're also bringing her to share perspectives on this light, right? And then that's not all. We're having panel session that will now discuss further issues that involves the average practitioner. Right. Yes. And it's gonna, I'm looking forward to it already.
I would like to know some of those issues. Just a moment. Please point us to some of those issues that will form the burning issues during panel sessions, just a few of them.
Yeah, like you said earlier that some of the stations are owned by government. So if they are owned by government, why are they not living up to expectation? Why should we have government institutions or government-owned establishments failing? So these are some of the issues we'll be looking at. All right. There's one big problem in Delta broadcast ecosystem, and that's the lack of collaboration. You know, we shouldn't be in an ecosystem where I don't like you, I'm fighting you. No, I think media has gone beyond fighting one another. If we collaborate a lot more, we would have, you know, the dividends of this profession. This is a very holy profession. It's a profession that we even practice when we get to heaven, because in heaven we'll still be talking.
Absolutely.
Okay, now so
I hope that welfare of journalists and media practitioners will also.
Of course, it will be discussed. It will be discussed. You know, and yesterday I was having a conversation with the senior special assistant to the governor on protocol. In this case, our LOC chairman, Samuel Fejoko. We're talking about media houses in Delta State that are struggling. And one of the questions I ask is why? There's no basis for struggling. Because Delta is a fertile ground. A fertile ground. You cannot have a radio station or a TV station directly opposite government house and you're suffering or struggling. Or directly opposite oil companies, like the case you have in Warri. There are so many media houses that are directly opposite oil companies. So it's time for us to begin to think outside the box. And these are some of the conversations we're going to have on that day. You know, and these are some of the things that pretty much developed the media ecosystem in Lagos and in Abuja. Because if it's all about government money, maybe the Nigeria Television Authority would be bigger than CNN.
Okay, so what will be the major expectations for participants after attending the conference? And secondly, how will you assess, broadcasting in Delta State?
Well, broadcasting in Delta State is, I've been there, monitored the growth. I've been practicing for 13 plus years now.
Okay, so
personally, I could see that the norms are eroding, and a conference like this, we want to take back broadcasting to its place of pride. where you as a journalist can walk into a room filled with would-be politicians or practicing politicians, and then they'll give you your flowers
Exactly.
because you're the one holding the mic. But today, and then you find content creators on, anybody who just have a mobile phone now can be a content creator and give himself
and even a broadcaster
and give himself one very wonderful name, like Spirit Man or Yellow Man, and then you find government patronizing him.
Yeah.
Whereas his information may not be credible.
That's right.
But Dott TV's information is credible. So we want to see how we can get to, we should earn. We're not demanding for this.
Okay.
All right. We're not being proud or braggadocious about it. We just want a situation whereby, of course, the average broadcaster should see himself or herself in a different light after this conference.
As an essential as it were. And
After this conference.
After the conference. So what are the major expectations for participants, both broadcasters like journalists
Yes.
and participants?
First of all, for journalists or practitioners who
Yes.
are in the industry, there would be massive capacity building.
Okay.
I guarantee you that. Massive capacity building, because that was one of the spin-off we have, one of the successes we had of last year. Massive capacity building. Because the people that are coming to talk to us, they would inspire you, and beyond that, it's not a fun fair. It's not a fun fair. We're not gathering, it's not barakbo.
No.
Right, so there'll be
it's not one there.
There's not one there. So there'll be capacity building, there'll be media interactions.
Okay.
All right, there's also going to be certain levels of inspiration. All right, you'll be provoked to do better when you leave this conference.
This whole package, is it coming for just a day or it's
just a day?
Is it free or
just a day?
Is there a fee?
It is absolutely free of charge.
Okay.
No fee. All you've got to do is register.
Okay, tell us about it.
Registration is compulsory. Now, why do we need you to register?
For
attendees.
Anybody that will attend.
Everybody who's attending. You just have to register because we need to know those who we're expecting because we've got to prepare for you.
Okay.
All right.
So
Last year,
Yes.
we had registration of over 400 and people who showed up were almost 500 or more because we had fellows who also joined us online. So registration is simply on the website www.deltabroadcastmediaconference.org.
Okay.
I take that even slowly. www.deltabroadcastmediaconference, all in one word, .org. That's the website.
I see the face of the governor on your flyer.
Yes, it's our chief
special
guest.
Yes, and of course he's the host because you will be in the government house
Of course.
as well. That brings me to this.
Mhm.
Delta State is fully supporting
Yes,
this conference.
absolutely.
I don't know of any other state,
You
perhaps in
mean
other parts of
Delta
the
State
country.
government?
Delta State, even Delta State as a whole, because the stakeholder acceptance is massive.
Yes.
Everyone, Dott TV, we're also with you as well. I don't know of other states where this has happened, but it tells you that the acceptance here is amazing. What will the state gain from giving you this wholesome support at the end of the second edition?
Well, they really would get a lot.
Talk to us about
because we are the mouthpiece of the state.
Okay.
We come here every day
Village makers.
on the Morning Dew. There's so many. I like the name, by the way, Morning Dew.
Yeah.
There's so many other morning programs on televisions and radio stations here in Delta State, but I kind of like this one. Dew that falls.
Thank you for loving us.
Yeah, so when you say that there's a lot to gain.
Yeah, I
you
was
need
going
to
there.
understand.
So a lot again. First of all, the practitioners who are going to be there, they would come back when you're done on Friday, on the 14th of August. When you come, morning dews when? Monday to Friday?
Yes.
Or to Saturday and Sunday?
Monday to Friday.
When you come back on Monday morning, you'll be a lot more refreshed. Trust me.
Awesome.
You'll be fired up to do better with what you're doing right now. Trust me, what you're doing is excellent, but trust me, there's a whole lot more. There's a whole lot more. So I believe that would be one takeout for the government. Something else that they would gain is the fact that we're bringing in some national figures who have, should I say, positive vibe. Esheun Okimbaloye in Delta State. These are national figures in Nigeria, well respected. An Ayo Mario essay, well respected. So these public figures coming into Delta State, I think it's good for Delta, all right? Because if your state is not doing well, you will not attract people like this, all right? So it's good for the indices or the scorecard of His Excellency, Right Honorable Sheriff F.O. Buriwari. And also, there's nowhere in Nigeria where this is happening. It's the first of its kind. When we kickstarted last year, it was almost as though has this been done before? People were not asking. No. It hasn't been done. It hasn't been done. In fact, we got invited to some of the leading cable networks in Lagos last year. Yeah, we got invited.
So I wanted to say something.
We got invited.
Well, there was an event like this in Lagos.
They brought us. Not really an event. They brought us to their programs. Just the way I'm here now. To what is this thing that you are doing in Delta State? We have not heard about it in Lagos. What is the idea? So we talked about it extensively on Arise News. That was last year, and so all of these. Beautiful publicity is good for Delta. You know, just so you know, no publicity is bad. If you are dancing on top of the bridge and you are showing Interboa roundabout, it is good for Delta.
Okay, so it adds to the public
image of the state.
Of the state.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's
and one last thing, it also helps our storytelling. You know, because you know, Delta, we have our own stories that really are not being spoken about. I was watching your TV this morning in the build-up to my coming here. When I woke up, in fact, I woke up with you guys. I went to your YouTube channel and I was watching some of the things. And I like the fact that you were picking issues about Delta. I saw issues about house rent. I saw there's something else. There's so many things you guys are just doing and I like it. You know, storytelling should be paramount. Especially when it is authentic, and when local, it is original.
Local, original. Yeah.
And I like local.
Yes.
Yeah, because if we don't tell our stories, we cannot expect CNN to do it better. They don't stay here. We are the ones here. So we are the ones to tell our stories better. So these are also some of the importance of this conference. And there's a lot more.
I believe we might have a panel on this local, authentic, original. Please add it.
All right.
Add it to what you have on your lineup.
We'll think about that.
I tend to have a little sympathy for you when you say you had to visit many places. How did you get the funds? Especially for the very first one. Did you go into debt after the organization of the first program?
You know, when you are a child, you take a first step and you fall.
Yeah.
But that doesn't deter you. You just take the next step and then you become a maze runner.
Okay. Absolutely.
Right. So yes, at first, a lovely idea. Everybody bought it. The government was in support. You know, we're even supposed to see His Excellency on the day of the conference. You know, and then our hearts got broken.
Oh my.
You know, but we're not. That's not going to deter us. This time around, it's a lot better. We must give kudos to the government of Delta State through the Ministry of Information. And of course, in the person of Honorable Charles Anyago. He said to us this time, in fact, when we met him first and I wasn't there, he said, where is the convener? People want to do this without convener, you know? So that goes to show that he liked the idea. The government was, in fact, last year they sent us an apology for not giving us enough support, like financial support. They sent us an apology.
It has to be.
So this year, it's a lot different. It's a lot different.
And it's because you persevered and you're consistent and you're continuing. We know that after this, it's going to continue. Is it an annual convergence?
Yes, it's an annual gathering.
Okay.
And with every year, we try to spice it up. Like this year now, we brought in awards. We didn't do awards last year.
Okay.
Right? And the awards are just 5 categories for starters.
Tell us about them.
We're having the radio station of the year.
Okay.
TV station of the year.
It's only us.
We're going to be there.
Well, you're going to be there. You're going to be there, certainly. There will be the TV program of the year. The radio program of the year. That's 4. And then lastly, when we were thinking about the last one, we wanted to have TV presenter of the year, radio presenter of the year, male, female. We said it's gonna be too much.
It's gonna be issue.
Let's just have it. Let's just do one and everybody compete for it.
Yeah.
And that would be the on-air personality of the year.
Yeah.
So that carries everybody, the newscaster, the anchor, the presenter, everybody is just going to be in.
All right.
Now let's
all
go
right.
to,
we're getting
the
started
area
to
of
conclude.
technology. Let's
Yes.
take this one.
I
From
think
the
he will come
area,
back.
yes, it will. From the area of technology now.
Let's sit
So,
down.
what would you say is the impact of technology on both traditional radio and TV broadcasting?
Last year, when we were done with that, before DBMC last year, we had some major radio stations in Delta State here that did not have website.
Oh, really?
Yes. And after the conference, I know that today now you can listen to them online. I don't want to mention the name of the station. Very popular one in Delta State. In this hour, it's about they don't have a website. All right. You can listen to them online. But last year we brought in a tech angle to it.
Awesome.
And the techie discussed extensively about owning a website. And I'm really happy and seeing what you guys have been doing on YouTube, taking advantage of new media. They call it new media.
Yeah.
Trying to see how it can outshine us and make us look like we're old media. No. What we need to do now is even take advantage of the new media. And I like what Dott TV is doing. I like what some other radio stations are doing. You can listen to radio stations now in Delta online, on the go.
Yeah.
I'm a radio consultant to one of the radio stations here in Delta State. You can listen to us on the go.
Okay, in
Awesome.
30 seconds, the categories you mentioned about the awards, how are you going to decide?
Okay, voting is strictly online.
Awesome.
Okay.
And it's going to be done by the highest voter wins. We have a website that can
On your
accommodate,
website?
yes, that can accommodate over 5,000 votes.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So
All right.
keep the votes coming.
Everyone-
All right. I think we have had enough conversation.
Thank you.
In one sentence,
Yeah.
can you just invite people to the program? Tell us about.
Okay, am I to look at the camera or?
Yes.
Look at the
Okay.
camera.
All right,
Address the
so
public.
Deltans, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Ruki Onoro, a proud son of Delta State, the convener of the Delta Broadcast Media Conference. And I want to invite all of you to it. It's not just for media practitioners. If you ever loved television, loved radio, you love listening to the news, you love beautiful faces like this every morning, making up your day, you should be there because it concerns you. And this is our state, so why not? You've got to be there. It's holding on the 14th of August, 2026. Unity Hall, Government House. Some of your favorites on TV are going to be there. Sheono Kimbaloye, Ayo Myra Essay, Agatha Amata. We're hoping Nancy Elo of the Morning Line on AIT is also going to be there. Plus, faces like this that brighten your day. So see you there. Don't miss it. Register today. www.deltabroadcastmediaconference.org.
Thank you, Ruki.
Thank you so much, Rishi.
What a way to
Thank
do
you.
it.
Yeah.
That's the broadcaster. All right. I want to
Thank
thank
you.
Ife and Success for being here with me since the morning. This is how we're going to end the program for today. Join us the other side of the week. Happy weekend.
Have a beautiful weekend.
Have a beautiful weekend
Bye.
and enjoy the rest of your day.
The Delta Broadcast Media Organization, in conjunction with the Delta State Ministry of Information, presents the Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0. Theme: the broadcast media as a democratic catalyst, shaping public trust and electoral credibility in 2027. Keynote speaker, Sheon Okimbaloye. Anchor, Politics Today on Channels Television. Guest speakers, Ayo Myro Essay. Anchor, Arise News. Agatha Amata, CEO, Trend FM. Samuel Fejoku, veteran broadcaster and senior special assistant to the governor on protocol. Guest of honor, Honorable Charles Ehiedu Aneagu, Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information. And Right Honorable Imomotimi Dennis Guo. Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Oborewori, the Executive Governor of Delta State. Convener, media personality, Ruki Onoro. Date, August 14, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba. There'll be high-level networking, media interaction, capacity building, awards, and lots more. Register to attend on www.deltabroadcastmediaconference.org. For inquiries, call 0706 701 8400 0803 874 9265. Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0, powered by Delta State Government. Sponsors Dominion Pearl Homes and One Niger app. Supported by NTA, DBS, Quest FM and TV, Warri Sentinel, Trend FM, Mega FM, Baramatu Voice, Oko FM, Crown FM, Sleek FM, Eku FM, Big Heart Radio, Cruise FM, Atlantic TV, Rise FM, and Dott TV.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration